All right, Shalom Israel. Wada for tuning in today. I know it's Monday. Shout out LA Judah, Kawakab, Shalom to Kawakab, Amayataza, and the brothers and sisters that are part of his camp and his school. Shout out to isbhpk Houston, Virginia, and Rochester, New York. Hope everybody is on the way back home safely from their gathering up in Houston. Hope everybody's get your computer, get your phone taken care of, y'all. Hope everybody's doing okay here in San Antonio. Last week, just a brief recap. The weather was kind of bad on Monday through like Wednesday. Yeah. So we didn't have class those last few days, but we're back on schedule. Weather's okay, so we're back to normal. What we wanted to do today is finish up our narcissism class that we started 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, right? Yeah, 3 weeks ago. And we just want to briefly recap a few definitions and just go right back into the topic, so we can get through this information. Once again, this isn't about tearing people down, pointing the finger at people, just for the hell of pointing the finger at people. We're trying to sit back here with these type of classes to point out issues that are in our people's psyche
that pervade and cause disharmony amongst the nation. And also, you said at the beginning of the last class, 3 weeks ago, you said that there's selfishness in Israel, right?
Yes, because that's really what narcissism is on a higher level. Yeah. Is intensified selfishness, and that issue is definitely significant amongst Israel.
Therefore, we have to go in the scriptures and show it in the book.
Yes.
So we're showing it's an intense degree of selfishness that affects people.
Mm-hmm. We explained earlier in that class a couple weeks ago about distemper.
Yeah.
And how, look up distemper real quick. We went into it, but I'm not going to go into all the specifics like the Josephus.
Distemper. It says literally an undue or unnatural temper.
Undue or unnatural meaning is abnormal. And like last time we said, abnormal distemper or abnormal state of mind goes into what? Abnormal psychology.
Yep.
Abnormal psyche.
And abnormal how you're put together.
Yeah.
Listen, we're all in our own way disjointed, mentally sick in some form of fashion. None of us get away from that battle. Okay? So with that being the case, we're trying to make sure that we understand that distemper is different mental sicknesses.
Yeah.
Different mental different aspects of being mentally disconnected.
And what it is.
And then if you're mentally disconnected, you're spiritually disconnected.
And it goes out, it shows in personality expression, but to be clear, cut, and concise and simple with it, it is a mental deformity.
And that mental deformity that can't be hid to where it affects the body that you're around.
And this is the
whether
reason.
It's family, whether it's brothers in a school, in the church, in a camp.
Marital scenarios.
Well, that's why I said family. How you deal with your children, how a man or a woman deals with their children. Really, this level or type of distemper deals with men more than women. But taking the time to paint out these concepts are very important for everyone.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, or a lot of times, that narcissist doesn't realize he's a narcissist.
And people can't identify it because they don't have the biblical understanding, they don't have the intellectual, academic understanding, and they don't know that there's multiple types or forms of this spirit. So this class is just...
It's just trying to paint this out, and the first key to fighting anything is an acknowledgement that you have these issues going on in your spirit. So that's why we're taking the time that we are.
So we don't have to... So if I am... Because remember, you said previously, you said that there is... These are... The first state is... tendencies.
Yes.
Right? We're dealing with narcissistic tendencies. That's first point.
Okay.
So there's multiple points or reasonings or multiple angles that are narcissistic in personality expression. But if you have more than what? 4?
It was 5.
More than 5. If you have more than 5, but you did say if you have 3 or 4, you
gotta
start working with
you're on the damn borderline.
You gotta work with your spirit.
Being thrown. But that's the point.
If I have 5 of these tendencies, these different variations of the narcissistic mentality, then I have some real work to do.
Well, I'm gonna say even if we have one of them, there's tendencies that got to get fixed.
Come.
Listen, we're hearing the truth so we can get worked on. We can work on our mindset, our outlook, our character, our conduct.
We're not just here to
We're not just here to smile and wear long fringes out.
Come.
This is about sitting back here and really working on our spirit. So this is why we're going this direction. I'm going to the last part of that beginning definition where it says the disappropriate. Yes.
This is literally an undue or unnatural temper or disproportionate mixture of parts.
There's a disproportionate mixture of how a person thinks, how a person processes things, how a person looks at people, how they think people are supposed to look at them. It's disappropriate, their view of the world. And if you guys have been watching us in class on Saturday lately, you see a lot of Israelites, a lot of kings end up having distemper.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it from guy to guy to guy to guy to guy. Distemper, 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 which means this thing is a real thing. This outlook, this distemper is real. Whether it's paranoia, fear, outlook gets distorted based off what you've gone through, whatever trauma. And listen, you can tell by whatever trauma was happening to them, the distemper came from after trauma.
Yeah.
A lot of our distemper that we experience in our life comes from trauma in our youth.
Yep.
Listen, a lot of times this narcissism comes based upon how we were raised as children.
Yeah.
This negative outlook comes from how our father treated us, or how our mother treated us, or how our father wasn't present in our lives. All these things have something to do with our personality, with our disappropriate mixture of parts.
Yeah.
And we come in the truth as broken men spiritually, and we're here to try to sit back here and rebuild and reassemble ourselves so that we can be effective for the body of Christ. So once again, that's why we go here, right? So we went into distemper. Now we're going to go into, I guess, that fourth grouping of the breakdown. I'm going to go back from the beginning.
I got to pull this one scripture right here.
Yes, we can.
2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 57.
2nd Ezra, verse 50, just 57?
Yeah.
Sure? I'm trying to type it.
58, bro.
There we go. I'm just trying to type it, bro. I know 58 hits.
Yeah.
When y'all ready.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Second Ezra.
And we're preferencing this conversation based on all people have trauma, all people have issues, all people have raising conditions, and people would like to, in their most convenient state of thinking, is, well, I can't control it because this is how I was born.
Yes.
This is my situation. Blame it on mama. Blame it on
my
daddy.
fault.
It ain't my fault. Look how I grew up. Look at my neighborhood. That's one aspect of the story,
Yes.
and people want to they want to hang all their reasoning on that reason. Oh, look what I came up from. Look where I came from. And we all came from garbage conditions in some way, shape, or form. But let's see how the Most High perceives it. Let's look at the Most High's perception. Read, sir.
2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 57.
Then
answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle.
So these psychological deformities based off of youth, conditioning, parenting, neighborhood, and curses, according to the Bible, is the condition of the battle. Read.
Which man that is born upon the earth shall fight.
So all men, not just Israelites, all nations deal with psychological deformities.
Yep.
Our difference is we have Yahweh Shah, we have Christ.
We have answers.
Who's our Savior.
Or we have access to answers.
We have access to the answers. The nations don't.
Nope.
Read.
That if he be overcome.
If he be what?
Overcome.
By my youth, the parenting, the conditions, my life.
My lack of preparation, my lack of communication. Because half the time, we don't get to these solutions because men don't confess their faults. So we're half the time, we're sitting back here creating these topics based off issues we know men have, but aren't willing to speak on. Or we talk about issues that we have seen over our 30 plus years, 20 plus years of teaching His Word, that you have to sit back here and kind of throw out there and then hope people come and confess so you can work on these issues on a more intimate level.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. That's the process. So you have to almost like pick what's in a person's head to get them to say, oh man, you're right about that. That was going in my head.
And I hate doing that because you got to play psychic, which means that there's other men that you can't ping on.
And that you got to play psychic, yes. But it's also messed up because it takes, until a person, this is from counseling in our experience and it's true. If a man doesn't confess what's in himself from him, then you can tell a person all day long they're
Doesn't
off.
matter.
They're never going to sit back here and start owning up to their issues until they start confessing what's inside of them.
Come on.
If that's not the case, you can't help somebody.
Of course.
So hopefully we open these doors to get people to open their eyes to start the healing process.
And according to the Bible, every man's clean in his own eyes. So if
And
you
that's
don't
the
go,
problem.
so because the Bible says that,
Especially the narcissist.
best knows
I'm super clean.
it's never me.
Never me.
And you know what? That's not cool because this is what the scripture says. Keep reading.
Come.
2nd Ezra chapter 7 verse 58 from the top.
Uh-huh.
That if he be overcome,
See, I'm going to be overcome because like the 5 versions, there was 5 are wise and 5 are what? Foolish. So 5 are wise, 5 are foolish. And the goal was what they had to do. What do they have to do?
fill their lamps with oil.
Fill their lamps with oil. Get enough oil, right? So the oil was what? Solutions. According to the Bible, it's blessing.
Yeah.
Right? What is our blessing? We have the oracles. We have the answers. We have the scriptures. So if you're not getting the answers, oracles, and scriptures and collecting them inside of your lamp to keep your spirit going, then your psychological issues won't get healed. And your spirit will start diminishing.
Yep.
Your household will diminish. Your career in the truth will diminish. Your fatherhood will diminish. Read.
He shall suffer as thou hast said.
He shall suffer as thou as what?
As thou hast said.
He's going to suffer. Read on.
But if he get the victory,
But if you get the victory by gaining the oil, getting the blessing, which is the scriptures and the wisdom, applying the Bible, applying the wisdom of the Most High, read.
he shall receive the thing that I say.
Because I want to make sure I say this, because if you sit back and listen to read medical journals and you read all these different perspectives of narcissism or other mental illnesses or issues with a person's spirit, they'll say, well, a person that's narcissist can never be healed. That's white man wisdom. Because what they want to give you is a prescription for drugs.
Somebody could come up.
And then when it comes, or they'll sit back, oh, you have depression. The only way to deal with this depression, let me give you these pills.
Come.
Because their answer is always to go medical, to
Yeah.
sit back here and make $1 off you.
Yeah.
But you know why? Because it's easier to do it that way.
Exactly.
That's why they have medication for ADHD. You know what the problem is? When a person got ADHD, you got to work through that shit. You got to teach your kid how to sit back and work through things that ain't easy for them.
Yep.
Instead of just popping a pill so the whole world is moving slow. That's
Yep.
all the pill does.
Yep.
It just makes everything slow. You're not helping anybody.
Yeah.
You don't teach people how to cope and use coping mechanisms and techniques and approaches to gaining mastery over your spirit.
And they said most of
The
those kids.
pharmakeia gains mastery over your
Come.
spirit.
Come.
And what we're trying to do here is try to teach us as men to get mastery over your spirit by using scriptures, adhering to counsel, leaning on the counsel. This is how we overcome issues. So, you got more in your verse?
That was it.
Okay. Let's get back into the 4th aspect of a narcissist. We're going to read the first 3
Recap.
to make sure, right off the ones you got. Thank the Lord you don't have them. Okay, the first one is narcissists are in love with an idealized, grandiose image of themselves.
Which is the character
It's
that
that
they
costume.
create.
It's the costume that they create. Because in order to sit back here and be the narcissist, you have to create this entity or this person that is untouchable.
Yeah.
You have to create this person that is infallible. And live behind this image of strength. This costume of perfection. This costume of security. This costume of stability. That's the first one.
And then people.
And so the first thing is, do you live with a costume? Do you sit back here and are you your genuine self every day? Or every day are you sitting back here and acting like you think a person wants you to be?
Am I functioning?
That's the costume.
Am I functioning with the moldable mask?
Yes.
Because some people are skillful, where they can change the mask based off of groups.
Those guys are called chameleons.
Yeah.
Chameleon.
Yeah.
That they're able to sit back here and adjust
Yeah.
based off of their environment.
Yeah.
It's one thing about adapting to your condition.
Yeah.
It's another thing to be a fake person, to appease another person's what you want their perception to be of you.
Yeah.
And that's where that costume is. So the first question is, you operate with a costume.
Which is a manipulation tactic.
It's manipulation. It's a form of narcissism.
Yeah.
Because if I create this costume, you can't see me for who I am.
Yeah.
You're just going to see the representative. So then that alone is a problem.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't want to make it too much about that. But
Moving
that
forward.
is number one, the costume. Do you live with the costume?
And we extended that conversation last
2
class.
weeks ago.
So you can catch that last class.
That's the point. So do you live with the costume is one. Number two is narcissists are in love with their inflated self-image. So once again, they're in love with their costume.
Yeah.
Because the costume makes them feel secure.
Yeah.
It makes them feel invulnerable.
Yeah.
Because to face the real them, the real him, the real her, that's too scary to endeavor. Because now I'm living with a bunch of weaknesses and fears and fallibilities, and I'll be exposed for the person I really am.
Yeah.
So once again,
And I remember, and it might sound cruel. Well, a war. Why are we supposed to sit here and be our genuine self and let the world take advantage of us? We're not saying that. We're saying that your character type that you're putting on, this show we're putting on, this acting we're putting on, it's really taking your opportunity to grow as a person. Because instead of actually fixing the problem, I'm acting.
You're giving a person a representative.
It's the guy that does steroids. And instead of just lifting weights and getting strong the old-fashioned way, I'm going to sit here and lift steroids at the detriment of my body.
For instance, this is a guy named Jose Canseco that was a baseball player, right? He was heavy into steroids, right?
Yeah.
But the problem was, because he was on the juice, he only had to go to the gym for like an hour or two a day. Whereas the real guys was in the gym going in all the time, BP, everything. They said, man, Jose Canseco will go in and just do some curls, bro, a couple benches and get out, and he's yoked. I'm like, man, you're cutting corners like a mug, bro. Yeah. Everybody else, they would say McGuire, all these other dudes were putting the work in and day out. The commitment was there.
Yeah.
And this guy sitting back here, half-assing, smiling, getting in late. This guy was buzzing. He was partying in Miami, wherever the hell he was the day before. Hey, what's up, guys?
We gonna win.
Then they realized he just put some juice in his buttock and he's ready to go work out at it. He took a shot in his buttock and now he's lifting and joking and big. Like, dude, it looks like this guy was in the gym all damn day.
But he didn't put the actual work in. He just gave a hyperinflated version of what
because
he was
the drug did that. The drug did that, though.
Yeah.
The drug created the costume.
Yeah.
We create the costumes. People don't have to look at it.
Digitally, some people do it with the internet.
Yeah. There's a lot of super spiritual Bible pimps out there. I'm giving you verses, my guy. You only get my pen name.
Yeah.
something Gabar.
Yeah.
Is my pen name. You get that guy. It's all cutting and fire. You don't see the real me.
Ever.
You don't see that I'm full of shit inside.
Yeah.
Full of weakness.
But I'm
just gonna tear you. Yeah.
That's the digital.
I'm gonna give you a whole bunch of icons.
Yeah. Yeah. And that
icons for days, huh?
Wasn't McGuire juicing too at one point?
But see, when that information came out, because LaRussa was bringing out the fact that he didn't work out, he was juicing too. But he juiced and worked out a lot. So he didn't look at
I'll put the work in.
See, I'm not juicing. He was juicing too. Now the question was when he started juicing.
Okay.
Nobody knows.
He said, I'm not
But
winning.
he was juicing. He was juicing.
Jose Canseco beating that game. He said, no, I'm not going to let him beat me again. It's never going to happen again.
Oh my gosh. We get the point, right?
Yeah.
So the first person is when it creates the mask. The other person, part B, is the narcissists are in love with their inflated self-image. They start to love this character that they portrayed because it makes them feel good about themselves.
And I love the lie.
Well,
That's
I love the lie because the lie makes me feel like I have substance.
And that's why the Most High is against it. He said they cover with a covering,
Yep, but not of the Most
but
High
not
Spirit.
of my spirit. So
Exactly.
are we just going to narcissists? Oh, this is scriptural, and we have to bring this out.
Our happiness should be based upon our relationship with the Heavenly Father and the things we work on in His name and the service we provide to the people who need us. And if it's anything outside of that, there is a level of fakeness and falseness about you.
And the last class we dealt with, Cobb had dropped recently, we went into self-idolatry. For those that caught the class, he went to people falling in love with their image and themselves.
This is a narcissist.
Which is self-idolatry.
Here we go.
This taps into so it's a biblical concept. Let's keep rolling.
So anyway, it says narcissists are in love with an inflated self-image because they're able to avoid deep feelings of insecurity. They love it because they don't have to see the real them. There's so many people that operate like, I'm gonna give you this cartoon character of who I want you to think I am, but never tell you who I am.
And they become method actors. They become good method actors.
That's what it is, because I don't want to really work on myself. It takes a lot of work to sit back and listen. I hate going to these Marvel movies, stuff like that. But you ever saw like Mystique, who was an X-Men? and she was like badass, but half her energy was focused on being this white girl versus being this slithery badass blue chick guy. And Magneto was like, listen, bro, you're sitting back here focusing half of your energy being somebody you're not. When then what happened, it was like he threw something at her and she couldn't keep her image of who she wants people to be and grab the weight at the same time. He says you're watering yourself down because you're trying to be somebody you're not, and it's taking away half of your energy.
Wow.
Stop being somebody you're not. And be your real potent you, so you can get to the best side of yourself and you can maximize your potential.
And that's Israel. That's Israel in
And
general.
so we went to that. I know I went to a Marvel angle, but it's still us, right?
Yeah.
We sit back here and give half our energy being somebody we're not. So that energy can be going on, working on what's inside of us to improve us as men and women in Christ. So that was 2. We're only speeding because we still have a lot, bro. And I don't want to go to part 3, bro. And then part 4. We're gonna do 2 and go from there.
I have no problem with that.
I know he does.
I love this kind of stuff.
We're gonna go like part 5,
It's my favorite
we can
topic.
stretch it out, but come on, man. We got other topics to teach the Jews. Right? So part 3 is this: narcissists are low in agreeableness.
Now, what does that mean?
I mean, being low in agreeableness is that they're condescending towards other people. They seem are below themselves. So now that I've created this image that I want you to feel or like or be a part of or respect, now I got to live up to this image.
So other people have to live up to the reality of the false.
Weakness in them.
I
But
get
you
it.
don't have to live up to that reality. 'Cause I'm playing a game.
I gotta live up. I gotta live up to the fake costume you put on. I have to live up to your
Yes.
false. If my real life doesn't match your costume life,
Yes.
I'm a
Then
piece of crap.
you're a piece of crap. And I'm going to look down on you because if you look through that narcissist's real life, they're just as off
And
as
flawed.
the person who's straight up about their weakness.
Yeah.
They're just as flawed.
And I hate to go there.
When you say agreeableness, you mean like because they always trying to overgo the next person or whatnot?
No, it is they've created this image of who they are, and anybody else that they think is lesser than them,
Right, that's what I mean.
then they look down, they look at them like they're less of a
They're
man.
abrasive.
Yeah,
They're abrasive.
They're disrespectful.
Because you brought out before, like if you say, oh, you know, I just wax my car. Oh, I do it every other day, and
There's people like that too.
yeah.
But this person's always ripped. These type of personalities, because it's a spirit, right? These personalities are always rubbing people the wrong way. You could be at McDonald's, rub me the wrong way.
But so
So
now it's almost like a competition is created.
Yeah.
A competition is created because I've created myself to be this. So now, if I look down on you, well, you know, the competition aspect is later.
Yeah.
But this part is still about if I've created this image, now I've created a superior entity than you. Now I can sit back here and make you feel less.
I look down on
a
you.
lesser
I look
level
down on all of
than
you.
me.
Come.
It's not about I'm waxing my car every day versus you waxing it once a week. It's more like I see your flaws. You're below me. And now I'm disgusted at dealing with you. Now I'm disgusted at having to tolerate your presence. That's being low in agreeableness. It's hard for me to deal with you because, oh man, you just got so many damn problems. We got to deal with this bullshit again.
And it's an elitist spirit. It's a false elitist
But
spirit.
it's elitist, but you're not even on that level. In the
I
first
know
place.
what I'm saying. That's just a false elitist side.
It's falseness.
Yeah.
You've created this false image, and anybody that doesn't match up to that falseness, you condemn
You have permission to look and to see the worst
and
of the people around
disrespect
you.
them.
Yeah.
Now we can go on the scripture, which we did about seeing the worst in a person and judging a person.
Yeah.
It's beware that you don't judge a person because most of them will judge you.
Yeah.
By the same measure that you judge a person by.
She shall be judged. Yeah.
So if you want to sit back here and do that, most likely gonna sit back at the laundry list of your BS. Starting with the fact that you got to walk around with a costume, which is the worst shit ever.
God.
You a black polar bear walking with a white polar bear suit on. That's the first damn problem, man. So anyway, now we got the fourth part.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to like paint it. Would that be like someone I can like paint the picture for me, like a wealthy elite? What kind of have that?
No, it's damn Israel in
They act like they're wealthy, but they're not. They're
because they're
right.
Israelites that you walk and breathe with every day. I'm gonna read more about it. It says they're condescending towards other people. They seem are below themselves. Frequently demeans, intimidates, bullies or belittles others. So now my actions and how I deal with people, I'm either intimidating you, I'm making you, or I'm looking down on you like you're inferior to me.
It's a bad person, bro.
It's one or the other. I'm making you feel lesser than. Listen, you ever been around somebody that their whole vibe is like, I don't want to be around you? Now, but I might not say the words, but all the energy oozes off like, you're not on my level, B, and you never will be. Shalom, how you doing?
Yeah. Jordan's famous for that. Jordan said, "My son will never be greatest." And I always say,
Jordan's a narcissist. He's a bad guy.
He said,
This guy is that
his
guy.
son." He
Legitimate.
said on public interview, I said, "Anything with your son playing basketball? How do you feel about your son playing basketball?" My son will never be great as me. I'm like, damn, Jordan. You could have just said he's good. I'm gonna
He's working on his game.
working on his game. You could have just been a good dad, bro. But he had to let his son know. Just so you know, you'll never be great as me. Just so you know that.
Could have been a good dad. Wow.
That's narcissism.
That's not really being a good dad. That's the dad that when your kid is like 5 and you're trying to shoot a shot, you block his shit. Don't bring it in my house. Like, dude, why are you blocking his shot, bro? We know you can block his shots. What are you doing? Huh?
When you beat me,
and
then you're a
you're
man.
a dunker. Ah! Like, what are you doing, bro?
Sweat hard and shit.
Yeah, he's dunking, holding on to the rim. Ah! Where's your compassion, my guy?
I can't beat my dad ever. I can never beat him.
You just break his spirit.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like
You ever? I ain't going here. You ever see that? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I know you're going.
No. I want to go into like when Chappelle went to visit this sick kid. He was playing video games with him, and the kid was like playing, and then the kid was about to beat Chappelle, and he was like, "Hell no, you ain't beating me!" And he stood back here and was kicking the kid's ass, and the kid got all depressed because he was getting smashed in this video game. And that's what this dude Jordan was doing. But this is to a degree, on a lesser level, what narcissists do to your people.
Especially in Israel.
Everything is about securing your position. Because for them, making another person feel less than keeps them perched in a strong position of power.
Pharisees.
It's still about power and the upholding and maintaining
Yeah.
of a superiority.
Yeah.
And that's how you know that is an element of narcissism.
And it's a Pharisaic mindset.
Yes.
So we're saying this also because the Pharisees.
All the good stuff.
I know.
You're just burning the hell out of these
I like the
guys.
smell, man. I need to smell my life.
Anyway, let's keep going.
But the Pharisees were known for this. We're on a level we don't deal with the public. We don't deal with the sinners. Let's just kill them. You know, you sin, we're gonna stone you.
Yeah.
But if they sin, they gotta give mercy because they're a Pharisee.
Yeah. It's just but see, like you said, those are the narcissists that are in a higher position in class based off of education,
Social position.
some social position. I'm talking about Israel that's like you and me, but still operate in a position as if they are, as if they aren't.
Which is stupid.
But that is a sickness.
Yeah.
It is a distemper
Yeah.
that is learned from your youth and not developed and chastised and addressed early enough to be caught.
And this is the problem with Israel lacking fathers.
Huh?
Because or fathers that deal with those issues in a balanced manner. Because you're gonna grow up and you're gonna know what you know based off of your environment, what your mother gave you, what your best friend's dad gave you, borrowing people's dads.
Or niggas from the streets gonna teach you.
Or the niggas in the streets, the Crips, the Bloods, and the other niggas, the Vice Lords, all them, what they gave you.
B's and C's, huh?
What the Latin Kings and all the boys gave us, right? But now, when you hit a certain age, now you're accountable for you. And I'm gonna have a hard time transitioning to the point of, well, now, when you were young was okay.
Well, and
now I'm a
this is
man.
why we're not sitting back here attacking.
Exactly.
We're just painting a picture. Because we're all here to get worked on.
Yeah, and we all have.
And if y'all are in these doors, if you listen to class, you're saying, I want to get worked on.
Yeah.
So this is about painting the picture. So we understand, hey, I got to work on this.
Identifying the sickness to solve the sickness.
Because this is about dealing with narcissism, which is an extreme level of self-centeredness.
Yeah.
But the self-centeredness is based upon trying to hide the insecurity.
Yeah.
That was what part 2 said. That self-image, because they have an inflated self-image because narcissists are in love with their inflated self-image because they because they're able to avoid deep feelings of insecurity.
It's
The
an escape.
insecurity is an escape. It's a protection mechanism that people use to not deal with their self-hatred. And that's another reason where the narcissist comes from.
But it's not
I have
spiritual.
to create this false persona, because if not, I'm going to hate myself.
It's a
and I
con-
might do damage to myself if I don't face the real, if I face the real me.
It's a carnal solution to self-loathing.
But this is why when you're reading Joshua 1, the most that says, be of good what?
Courage.
You have to have the courage to face you. You have to have the courage to face your weakness and your insecurity. So what some people do, most people project out when they don't want to see themselves. You have to have the courage to see yourself. You have to have the courage to engage the ugliness in yourself.
Yeah.
If you can find the courage to do that, you can be great in the eyes of the Heavenly Father.
And if you search and seek, if you're going to do the searching and seeking process,
Yeah.
we have the counseling confessing process, you have the searching and seeking process, and all
It's the combination.
It's the combination of serving the Most High.
Yes.
Because people say serving the Most High is the attendance or the ceremony or the beard, the going the beard.
That's part of it.
But also, on another degree, serving the Most High is what degree am I going to commit myself to fixing my natural personality, mental, spiritual deformities.
Yes. We got that, right?
Yeah.
So listen, like I said, it's almost 8:30. We gotta do something.
go.
So now we're at part 4.
Yeah.
Hard to understand feelings and needs of people around them.
Now, so I'm asking this question. So you're saying, I'm just trying to hear it. I don't understand what other people are feeling. I have an idea of what they're feeling, but I don't connect. I don't really understand.
Now I can explain that even from a non-narcissistic person.
Yeah.
Have you, like, in your own life, when you're really fighting things in yourself, whether it's depression, anger, sadness, self-loathing, lust, when things are riding you hard, is it easy for you to connect to what another person's going through?
No.
It's damn near impossible. It's damn near impossible when your mind is getting pulled 1,000 different directions internally in what's going on with you. This was the scripture saying in 2 Corinthians 10. Let's go there real quick.
Would that be similar to like tunnel vision?
It is tunnel vision, but there's a reason there's tunnel vision in the first place. So we're going to go 2 Corinthians 10 and 6.
2 Corinthians 10 and 6. And having a readiness to
Oh, wait for everybody. And myself. I got to type it in.
There you go, brother.
So 2 Corinthians chapter 10 in verse 6 and 7. Why the hell not? Let's do 7 too. Let's do that. Read on.
And having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled.
It's easier to focus on revenging disobedience in other people's lives. It's easier to focus on helping others when your obedience is fulfilled. When you have control over your thoughts, when you've stabilized the issues in yourself, then you can give your mind to what other people need. It's no different than when you're making classes. Though when you get to the point of making classes, you have to be beaming at what people need. And you can't be wrestling your negative shit and be clear enough to give another person what they need. It just can't happen. So just imagine that times 10 when you're sitting back here, you got to keep this costume going. You're already fighting self-loathing and self-hatred in yourself. This narcissistic person has self-hate he's wrestling with. Then you got this costume you're trying to keep up. Then I got somebody split my mind 3 ways and focus on what another person needs.
It's not gonna happen.
It's impossible. You can't be considerate when I'm wrestling with trying to be the strong person, and I got anger and negative in me. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be this person, maintain an image, maintain a costume. I got all this self-hatred and negative inside of me, while simultaneously considering what other people are going through. That's not even duplicit. That's triplicit.
Yeah.
That's not even a goddamn word.
The double-minded man.
Triplicit is not a word,
Yeah.
but it's a word today.
Yeah.
Try three times plicit.
Yeah.
Is that a better word to say, triplicit or triplicit? I don't know. When you split all those different ways, it is impossible to connect to the needs of other people.
Or be effective in it.
And this is where it goes. It's hard to understand somebody's feelings when you're wrapped up into your feelings.
And this is why we teach men when they're in the process of going up those ranking structures, as they grow older and they get that certain period. We say you got to master you. Your first level, soldiership, officer 50. You need to get you together.
Okay.
That way, when you're on top of you, now when you're 100 or when you're going up the chain of command, now you can correctly and precisely see what people are dealing with.
It's no different with studying. If you don't grasp how hard you got to work to obtain information, you think you're going to be able to sit back here and reestablish a study ethic when you got crying babies in the house out, pooping diapers?
Very hard to do.
Listen, if you haven't locked your mind down, this is why young men don't get ribs early. Brothers look at it like it's a curse. Oh, it's a curse. He's trying to give you time to figure this out. Because when you have all these things going on in your life, you're going to go home like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I got to focus out. I can't focus here.
Yeah.
It's too much shit going on. What am I trying to explain? He's trying to explain to them the human mind can only handle so much
efficiently
unresolved conflict.
Exactly. Perfect.
The mind can only handle so much unresolved conflict and still be spiritually attentive to what another person needs. And this is what 2 Corinthians 10:6 says. Read it from the top again.
2 Corinthians 10:6. 10:6?
Yes, I want 10:6 again.
And having a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled.
Your obedience has to be fulfilled, meaning you've learned to sustain and get on top of you,
your members,
before you can clearly focus on what others need. But the narcissist isn't there. He hasn't learned how to even start to confess his issues to deal with them. The narcissist never addresses him because he's so focused on keeping this image of strength. Yeah. You never take the time. Listen, can you imagine never ever dealing with your shit? And I'm just creating, I have this alter ego going on here. Yeah. I got this alter ego and I'm never working on me.
I'm not maturing.
I'm not, and all these unresolved issues keep stacking. And they keep stacking and stacking and stacking. And that means your mind is completely cluttered with unnecessary distracting thoughts. It's impossible to have empathy and consider with all that cluster, you know what, in your head.
Because I'm consumed with self. I'm self-consumed.
So we got this. So we're going to read on verse 7. I'm sorry.
In 7. Do ye look on all, Slaki, do ye look on things after the outward appearance?
The narcissist does. Everything's outward. Everything is how people look at me. It's based upon making decisions and posturing so that I'm able to still look like I'm this certain person. Everything shouldn't be about the outward appearance. Read on.
If any man trust to himself that he is Christ's, let him of himself think this again.
If you're about Christ, stop wearing the mask. Think again about how you processed this character you've created. Think about getting rid of that mask and that costume so the real you can get worked up and get built up from the ground up. Then the works you do can actually have longer lasting effects for not just you, but the people around you. Read on.
That as he is Christ's, even so are we Christ's.
So we're going to let that verse go. Hold on. Let me see.
So the narcissist is only self-beneficial because it's consumed with self.
Now, let's read verse 8. Read verse 8. That's what I was trying to see. I want to go verse 8.
In verse 8. For though I should boast somewhat more of our authority.
He says, I should boast of the authority the Most High gives us. Meaning, this is for a person who might have rank. He says, Most High might give you rank. And part of you might want to boast because you have rank. Right? Read on.
That the Most High hath given us for edification.
But he says the Most High only gave us that rank so we can edify other people.
It wasn't about...
It's because people get rank, especially narcissists, to maintain that level of superiority.
And leverage over people.
Because a lot of men in Israel use rank for leverage.
Yeah.
So they can sit back here and assert themselves to be somebody that they're not, to feed that ego. Yeah. And this is why when you get rank, the rank is based upon having the rank, having the experience, because the authority should be based on experience. You gain the experience so that you can sit back here and teach and edify people. That's why you get the rank.
To be a better servant.
But a lot of men come through the ranks just to get picked up and get built up, so
be
they can
served.
sit back here and feel
Yeah.
like they're on a level, and then to flex, and then to do what? To condescend to men. I mean, to like look down on men, to demean, intimidate, bully. It's easier to bully and belittle somebody when you got rank over them.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of men get ranked just to sit back here and tell people what to do, to use authority over people. That's a narcissistic trait.
Yeah.
Paul is saying the authority is used to represent experience. Christ said, the greater you are, the greater what you're supposed to be.
Servant.
Take your experience and serve others with it. Versus city, because see, if you serve others with your experience, then guess what? Your ego ain't gonna get. Your ego is not gonna get stroked.
And your character ain't.
Because now you get brought back down with everybody else.
Yeah.
We read it last week about condescending to men of low estate.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're supposed to do. Rank is supposed to say you are good at, you're able to control what's inside of you, and you what's going on with you is not a problem anymore. So now I've removed the things in me so I can condescend to other men. Go to Romans 12 and 5. I don't know if I pulled it though. We talked about it. I don't know if I pulled
It
it.
matches right now.
Yeah.
Romans 12.
Romans
Almost 12 and 5.
12 and 8. No, it's 12 and 16. I'm tripping.
Romans 12 and 16.
Make sure everybody gets Romans 12 and 16. We ain't getting through this, man. And I'm good. This is good. This is
part
good.
5.
Part 5. Okay. Romans 12 and 16. Hey, should I space it in between other classes, or just keep pounding on the point?
No,
Like for weeks. Like a month of is it like Shark season? Is it Narcissist season?
I would love that.
Like Shark Week out? Anyway.
Franchise king.
What's that at?
The franchise king.
I'm telling you, bro.
Part 6, part 7.
Read that out.
Be of
I ain't
the
doing
same
7 and 8 side. That's too much. Let's read that.
Be of the same mind one toward another.
Uh-huh.
Mind not high things.
Mind not high things. You know what high thing is? Your image.
Your ego.
Your ego. That costume you've created.
Yeah.
He says, stop giving your mind to keeping up that costume.
Yeah.
Give up. Throw the costume away.
Yeah.
Throw the fake guy away and be a real person.
Yeah.
My super suit.
Throw away your super suit. That's what you're going to call it. Get rid of it and be a real brother. Read on.
But condescend to
But the
men.
problem is with being a real brother, that means all of your shit is out for everybody to smell.
Yeah.
You got to work on it.
That's the problem too. 'Cause now instead
Now your flaws are exposed to the world, and you got to work on what's inside of you.
of masking, I have to sit here and actually do work.
And you got to take ownership.
Yeah.
But the reality in rank, that's the only thing people really respect. People aren't going to respect the costume man unless the entire camp is full of costume guys.
Yeah.
If the whole camp is a costume camp, then it might work. But the majority of people are sitting back here, and it's not like eyes wide shit. You got all these different masks, these ugly faces and shit. You don't know who I am. I don't know if y'all ever seen that. With that crazy ass camp. That was the worst shit ever. The faces were horrible. Anyway, there was ghouls and goblins and beasts and demons. I'm like, what's going on here? But this camp, or the schools that we deal with, don't operate with that falseness. And because of that, you have to shed all of that fakeness, all of that weakness, and start dealing with the real. But read verse 16 again.
Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate.
Not look down on people.
You can't look down on
It's
people.
exactly contrary to the narcissist.
To the narcissist, you got to condescend to men of low estate. That's what we're supposed to do. But to do that, you got to be genuine. To condescend, to empathize, to consider. I have to sit back and let the mask go, let the costume go, let go of what's inside of me, and really listen.
And relate to my brothers.
And relate to my brothers for their benefit.
Not for your benefit.
Yep.
I'm gonna relate to you so I can get some off you.
Nope.
That happens before.
Because there's a thing called a narcissistic supply, whereas a person creates the image of the fact that I can help you, just to turn to get what I want.
On the back end.
Because the narcissist we'll read later. If we won't get to this today, but the narcissist also will create the image, that costume that I'm here to help and give you answers, and then go back to my narcissistic ways. And really, I'm creating that image of being a helper so that you can give me what I want.
To exploit you and to exploit your kindness.
You can. Because that's what the Pharisee does.
Yeah.
That's what men in Israel do.
Yeah.
They'll use their knowledge, their Bible verses,
or their authority,
just to get you, and their authority, their rank, to sit back and initiate this position of strength, just so I can get what I need from you. Because I'm really lacking. But I've given you this costume. I'm giving you this costume to make you think I'm not lacking.
Because we can't.
But I'm really lacking.
I'm lacking.
And I need what I need from you to make me feel like I'm more important.
Exactly.
While simultaneously having to make you still feel low to justify my position.
And
it is a jacked up cycle of attitude and communication. I don't that was a lot of kind of stuff going on, but that's a real thing.
It's a vicious cycle that affects a lot of households and people, and gives people bad experiences in the truth. They're like, I don't believe in that Israelite thing, or I don't believe, or I'm gonna be my own Jew somewhere else.
Really, it was a narcissistic guy with a couple Bible verses.
Yeah, that's all it was. It wasn't Christ's fault.
Yeah.
But I want to say this one thing too. We can't forget that the narcissist, the spirit of a narcissist, looks at people as objects.
Don't go there yet.
Okay.
That's later on. But yes, say it real quick. But that's for later.
Okay. I can't say anything now. Huh? Say it like you got me, man. Okay, it's the costume, right? It's bad, y'all. It's really bad. But no, but let's not forget the spirit. The spirit of exploitation is behind that false nature. Because when I'm genuine, I can't sit here and exploit you because we're both being on the same page. When I start looking at you as lower, I'm looking at you as a lower position, or you're this and that. Now there's a relationship where you have to serve me for my benefit. And it's always supposed to be the people on top are supposed to serve the people for their benefit. That's the root of a shepherd. The root of a shepherd is to be an anti-narcissist. David was about to die for a sheep. Christ said, I'm the good shepherd. I do what? I give my life for the sheep. That's anti-narcissism. It's a complete opposite mentality. Christ is giving his life for the sheep. In the mind of the exploitative narcissist, or the taker or the user, guess what? The sheep are for my benefit so I can live my life. Yes, sir.
I give a definition for condescend.
Condescend, let's go.
Condescend, to put aside one's own perceived dignity or pride voluntarily and assume equality with the ones around him, or to be thought as inferior.
But the problem to do that, in order to sit back here and assume that I'm no different than them,
Yeah.
I have to acknowledge the weakness and fallacy in me.
Okay.
But in order to do that, that pulls the costume off me.
Yeah.
I gotta realize that I'm no greater or better than them. But why do narcissists run from that? Because there's already a distemper there, right? There's already a disproportionate set of parts in that person's mind.
Yeah.
So when a narcissist acknowledges their flaws, it goes beyond just I'm acknowledging my flaws. It goes into suicide.
Yep.
It goes into extreme condemnation. So I want to tear myself down and destroy myself because I can't deal with what's really inside of me.
Which leads to this, the playing and the entertaining of the spirit of self-harm.
Yep.
It leads to if I don't love myself, he who cannot be good to himself, how can he be good to anybody else? I can't be good to anybody else around me because I can't be good to myself. I can't love myself. Not the satanic self-love. I'm talking about righteous scripture self-love. I can't read the scriptures to clean my spirit up. I can't sit here and read the Bible and get right. I can't here and serve the people in a tent to keep my spirit together. If I don't see the importance of keeping my spirit together, why would I keep the people around me that I'm responsible? Why would I take care of their spirit? I have to do it for me.
Listen, I gotta go pull this verse. Ecclesiastes 37 verse 19 and 20. Last I quoted, but I gotta pull this. Ecclesiastes 37 verse 19 and 20.
Ecclesiastes 37 and verse 19.
This is an example of a narcissist. Read on.
There is one that is wise and teacheth many.
There's one that's wise. I mean, I have information. I have scriptures. I have Bible verses. But let's keep going. Wise and teaches me, so I have the ability to teach and talk words to people. Read on.
And yet is unprofitable to himself.
Because I have lived my life sitting back here creating this image I never worked on me. I focus with this on just dispensing information. You haven't reached the bar. You haven't reached the bar. You're not on point. You're not off, but never took the time to work on what's inside of them, to fix them. This is in more people than you think. A lot of people come in this truth for a lot of different reasons. People come in because they have no self-esteem, and the truth gives them self-esteem,
which is a good thing
to a degree. Yeah. But this knowledge should give you self-esteem because of what you give back to men, not about what you get back. A lot of people come in here to this truth and they get this knowledge, and the wisdom makes them feel superior. And they just attack people. But the living it keeps you humble. That's what most of this knowledge does. What? But charity edifies. Giving, applying it, brings you back down to earth. But you know what? The charity part is what breaks most men, because a lot of men they just want to be puffed up and feel good, but they don't want to have to sit back and edify and lose and be humbled and brought down, because they didn't come in it for that. They came in to be exalted and elevated. Yeah. So now let's keep going. In Ecclesiastes 37 and 20.
Verse 20. There is one that showeth wisdom in words.
There's another person that shows wisdom in words. I know how to say verses. I can pull all the damn verses to show you where you're off. Read on.
And is hated.
But why are they hated? Because their words don't match their actions. Their words are one way, but people can see that you have a costume that you're trying to keep up. People don't respect that. People respect the person that says what they mean and means what they say. A person respects the genuine person that's the same guy every single damn day. People can, you know what, people that come from the world and us Israelites, you know what you can see easy? You can see bullshit. People can see bullshit. People can see fake. People can see unreal. And this is why a person can have verses, concepts, information, breakdowns, and still be hated, because it's not genuine. It's not genuine half the time, because I've had this concept the whole time. Tearing people down, using my experience and my wisdom as leverage to position myself to feel better about me. Because that's what the narcissist does. Read on.
He shall be destitute of all food.
He's going to be destitute of all development.
Substance.
Because when the scripture says, eat this roll, eat this Bible. So the word actually gives you nutrition. Yeah. The water is the wisdom. Yeah. You're going to be destitute of the wisdom because you've never taken the time to apply it and live it yourself.
The verbal wisdom?
To be humble enough to acknowledge the nurture. Listen, like how Kyle said back in the day, was a saying with generals and teachers and students back in the 90s that the humblest cow gets the most milk. The person that's humble grows. In this realm, the person humble gets the spiritual nutrition. Not the guy that talks the loudest and smashes people and talks down to people.
Theatrical.
And creates this image like they're on point. Those dudes don't grow. They don't spiritually grow. They eventually dry out and spiritually wither away. That's the point. What you gonna say? I'm
gonna say that 100% on point with that concept. And if we're not sitting here producing the verbal wisdom is one thing, but then your lifestyle and how you distribute solutions to your people tells what kind of shepherd you are. Yeah. You know a tree by the what? So your garden, which is your household, your people, the people that depend on you, if they're dry and they're ill-nurtured and they're withering around you, there's a reason why. Even though I have the scriptures, why are the people around me sitting here sick? Why are people around me dry and dehydrated spiritually? Yeah. Because the wisdom is only verbal. We're trying to say that a narcissistic person will get the scriptures, will have understanding. But you'll see in the reality of their life, the people around them will be suffering, starving spiritually. So the answer is, be your true self, be genuine, get the book, make the confession, do the work, be sincere, grow up the chain of command, Get the scriptures for real. Apply them in your real life for real. So when you give people answers, they're from a real place. It's not theory. And the people around you, your rib, your children, your kids, everything you're responsible for is vibrant, growing, and spiritually hydrated.
God.
That's it.
Listen, another one. I gotta give it to him. Ecclesiastes 20, verse 14 through 16.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 20, verse 14 through 16.
Ecclesiastes chapter 20, verse 14.
I'm just going to do that. I like to do this.
Doodling, man?
I do.
Anyway, let's keep going now. Let's keep going now.
It says, "The gift of a fool
Keeps me focused.
shall do thee no good when thou hast it."
He says, the gift of a fool shall do you or thee no good when thou hast it. Meaning, when a negative person, the narcissist person, gives you something, it's not going to do you any good when he gives it to you.
It's not to your benefit. It's
Because
your
there's an
benefit.
expectation behind it. The narcissist is going to give you something, but expects something back.
Yeah.
It's always something expected in return.
I'm going to give you a little grain of rice. I expect a whole bushel
I
of rice.
want a whole lot of servitude, acknowledgement, respect, and appreciation.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. See, I'm at the tweak.
It's equivalent
tweak
to
the game.
Esau. It's equivalent to Esau. I don't say this all the time, but Esau gave Gad and Reuben glass beads, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what did Reuben and Gad give them? Gold, silver, precious stones, knowledge, understanding crops, how to grow crops. What they were given is called false equivalency. I'm going to give you this little trinket right here. See this glass bead? This is for you. It's a symbol. It's symbolic of our brotherhood. Now, what they did to Gad and Reuben, what they do to Judah in this time period. I'm going to give you Jay-Z. Look at this guy. He's a rich man. Look at Oprah Winfrey. She's a wealthy woman. The whole people, the nation, the majority of the nation is starving and suffering and in hell. But they're like, listen, they gave us Oprah. They gave us Jay-Z. They gave us Lizzo. They gave us Glorilla.
What's with Lizzo?
That's new generation. That's
Y'all can have
they
Lizzo all you
gave
want.
us. They gave us. Listen, that's where it's at now. They gave us Cardi B. They gave us these new celebrities that we live through them vicariously because we see how well they're doing. So it takes our mind off of our own poverty because we watch them dwell in riches.
Now I got to go here on this verse. So read that verse again from the top.
Ecclesiastes 20, verse 14. The gift of a fool shall do thee no good when thou hast it.
So this is part F. This is another one, man. I was trying to wait till later, but this verse kind of takes me there. It says, a narcissist may form relationships with other people only if they have something to gain.
There you go.
Then it says, without something to gain, they might not get involved with another person and may readily cut old ties without qualms. Meaning, the narcissist is only going to engage into somebody that can get where they can get something out the deal.
Supply.
I'm only going to be kind because you can supply something to me, to where there's a trade-off.
Which leads to partiality.
It's never giving for free. The narcissist don't give for free. The narcissist gives only with the expectation of something coming back to
from the back end.
But what about the whole notion of surround yourself around people like-minded? I mean, that can help you grow.
Say that again.
There's a notion about surrounding yourself around people with the same mission or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. No, but see, the thing is this: if we're really about service, you're gonna surround yourself around people who aren't going to give you what you need. You know what? Put it this way: we're supposed to commit ourselves to the service of others and what they need,
right?
Not focus on what they can give me.
I mean, but
that's what the narcissist is. The narcissist only is giving himself to somebody who he can get something out the deal back to.
I align myself with people that benefit me. That's a politician.
Well, that's a politician.
The blacks, they're good, and you see them, they talking like they're in the church, and they see them with the white people that they talk like this certain way with the white people.
You talking about like Bill Clinton?
Yeah,
he's kissing black babies, and he's blowing the
he's
horn
playing
on
the sax. Oh, he got soul in him. He got so much soul. I forgive him, and I'm going to go ahead and elect him again.
Yeah.
They know the play to align themselves with different demographics of people for their personal agenda and benefit.
But it's not just the politician. It's Israel every day.
Playing politics, though.
Israel will only align himself. Well, the narcissist will. Where they will give, or they'll give their spirit to somebody where they can get something back.
But they won't give their spirit to somebody that needs them.
That's the point.
It happens all the time.
Where I'm not giving my spirit to somebody where it's going to be a one-sided relationship, where it's all me giving and me getting nothing back. Then why am I going to give? That's the narcissist.
Exactly.
That is a narcissistic element. Why give myself to somebody if I'm not getting anything back? That's a narcissist. Get my point?
The Bible says it's better to give
than to receive.
Then that's what Christ said. The narcissist mindset is better to receive than to give.
So if I can talk to somebody and I'm communicating and I get something from this,
you're my boy.
Now we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on our relationship.
Shalom.
Because I get something out of it. But if I don't get it, I won't talk to you. Then I'm gonna look down on you and make you feel less than and break you down. Well, let's keep reading in Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes 20 verse 14. The gift of a fool should do thee no good when thou hast it, neither yet of the envious for his necessity. For he looketh to receive many things for one.
And what is it showing? The person that deals with a lot of narcissism, they're dealing also with the spirit of envy. But what kind of envy is it? It's envy of the world. In this realm. I'm going to sit here and test myself to worldly people. I'm going to sit here and test myself people outside the spiritual realm. Outside the spiritual, because this spiritual realm, all this is give all day, bro. Let's be real. When you're dealing with brothers have needs, which is nothing wrong with that. But I need to go around people that they don't need me. That I can pull from. So now I have two environments. It creates a person that lives a double life. I have to be in two different arenas because in this arena, it's all draining and exhausting. And people got counsel all day and be a brother and
so
listen.
So now I got to recharge by
God.
being around people who can give me something back.
So I need to have two arenas or two fields of connection.
That's why men are one way around the camp and another way at home. That's why there's a whole other set of friends at home.
Yeah.
Whole other people that you deal with at home. Now there's two different worlds you got. Because in the world, I got these people that I can get something from to feed that narcissism.
Yeah.
But when we're on the body, there's nobody to feed from. So I'm just suffering till I get home and get some narcissism back. Feed that narcissism back.
That's true.
And that's why Israel. That's why in part of our in our plaques. The thing is, an Israelite can't live a double life. At least in leadership, you can't get raised up because it exposes that there's a glitch there. There is a distemper there when you have to sit back and be around a whole different set of people when you get home versus the people that you deal with when you're around Israel. If your best friends aren't Israelites, you got a problem. Why do I deal with a best friend out in the world to feed? Because it's feeding something that I think I'm not going to get in the body. That's a real thing.
People
and Israel does it all the time.
People are understanding the camp.
You see, normally younger men battle that.
That's a young man.
But if you're sitting here 5-10 years in and you're still dealing with that, there is a real distemper there. There is something wrong. Let's continue. Verse 15.
Ecclesiastes 20 and verse 15. He giveth little.
So this narcissist gives very little
of my spirit,
of your spirit to the people. Read on.
God. And upbraideth much.
Look up upbraid.
Yeah.
Because upbraid is reproach. It's a whole lot of correcting.
And disrespect.
It's a whole lot of disrespect. It's a whole lot of looking down on people, but giving back little to the people that you look down to. If that's not what this narcissist is, I don't know what the hell is. Once again, a narcissist is low in agreeableness. They're condescending towards other people. They seem are below themselves. Frequently demeans, intimidates, bullies, and belittles others. That is another word. Those are 5 words to explain upbraid.
Exactly.
Let's look up upbraid.
That's true.
To rub or wear off.
Upbraid.
Kind of braid.
Upbraid.
Upbraid. To charge with something wrong.
That's it.
Or disgraceful.
So to upbraid somebody is to give negative accusations, negative counsels, negative backbiting statements that what? Demean, intimidate, bully, and belittle.
I'm cruel. I give a small amount of spirit and I'm cruel.
And I'm overly critical.
85% of the time I'm cruel.
I give a little bit and I'm tearing down 85% of the time.
That's the ratio.
Yes. Read on.
To reproach.
To reproach us. I'm constantly scrutinizing you. I'm scrutinizing you. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. Now I give very little to rehabbing this.
I'm not saying rehab you. I'm just saying you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. Tear down, disrespect, come negative.
But I'm doing very little to help you. I'm giving very little to like rehab your spirit.
I can point the problem out,
Yes.
but I can't give you the answer.
Most of Captain Obvious.
And this is the reason why we say, listen, you can't be sitting here just telling us problems without answers.
Okay.
Don't
be Captain Obvious.
This is the training. Where are your solutions? Where are your answers? Where is the positive solution? Where's the answer to the situation? Do you have an answer? No, I just think he's off. He's just off.
And then all of a sudden,
That's obvious.
now you're just kicking off your opinion.
Yeah.
But that narcissist opinion is toxic.
And what are you willing to do to help fix that?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I'm here for.
Yep.
I'm not here for that.
Now listen,
Yeah.
I want to hold all that. I want somebody to give me James 1.
I want to pull 1 point real quick, bro.
I will. Just let me. See, now that angle's up, you can go back to it. I mean, I was trying to hold it, but
We got to do another verse.
we got to do another class, another
We
one.
have to.
One and
Finish
eight.
up?
Yeah, I think it's 1 and 8, sir. James 1 and 5. I mean.
1 and 5. Done. James chapter 1 verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom,
Now this is what Christ is explaining to us. Read on.
let him ask of the Most High.
If a person is lacking wisdom, the person is making mistakes, the person is flawed. Read on.
Let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally.
Listen, the Most High in Christ gives to all men freely, not with an expectation. Listen, the Spirit of Christ, you don't just give a little bit and expect a lot back, or give a little bit and then bring nothing but a braiding, negative, condescending attitude behind it. Read on.
And upbraideth not.
And if you're in the Spirit of Christ, you're not tearing people down. You're not upbraiding. You're the opposite of that wicked man or that narcissistic man. The narcissistic man is condescending and tears down. If you're in the Spirit of Christ, you're not tearing down. You're building up. You can tell if a man has leadership potential in him based on, does he inspire men, or is it always some nigga argument? And I say nigga argument because it is nigga shit.
It is.
And I'm not trying to curse, but a lot of times when we see young men trying to be leaders, it's I didn't get respected, so I'm gonna yell at him. We're gonna argue and fight it out.
That's all.
I would see brothers arguing at the damn zones, arguing at the work sites,
At the house.
arguing at inspection. That's low level base attitude.
Yeah.
That's a person that's all about proving he's the man, but doesn't understand the Spirit of Christ. Spirit of Christ is about bringing up, inspiring, motivating, and inspiring a person to be better.
And that's why I want to say. I guess we're going in the same direction then, because I want to say the narcissist, because it sounds like it. The way if you listen to class, listen to scriptures, you would say, "Oh, the narcissist was just made bad. He was just a bad person, and he wasn't given and nobody cared. Nobody gave him the ability. No, this person.
Nobody cared.
No, nobody cared. No, narcissists are very shallow people when it comes to Christ.
Yep.
They're shallow in Christ. Meaning I know I have flaws, but I'm not going to do the spiritual work. I'm not going to read the scriptures. I'm not going to counsel. I'm not going to deal with the real problem. I'm going to be surface.
Because it doesn't benefit me.
There you go. I'm going to be surface so I can continue the cycle of narcissism around me and keep getting bad reports and creating division around me.
Now, there's a reason behind that too. I don't want to go there yet because it'll take the class completely off.
Yeah.
But let's continue in Ecclesiasticus.
Done. It says, let him ask of the Most High. Oh, slack.
No, read your verse. You finish it off. You're good. Let's finish it off so we can continue to move on.
Done. Let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally.
So the Most High can't heal narcissists. We're not saying if these tendencies are in you,
it's
impossible.
It's that, and he's trying to show the spirit of the man that is a narcissist. You're supposed to give for free and not expect anything back. That person that's the narcissist gives little and upbraids much. That's how you know this person doesn't care about the flock, because he's doing more cursing and attacking than building and inspiring. Read on.
And it shall be given to him. And it shall be given him.
No, we listen. Let him ask in the Most High that giveth to all men liberally, and
upbraideth not.
And listen, the correct spirit of teaching and development isn't about usurping power and yelling and cursing and showing that I am dominant over you and I got to demean you to get the job done. That's not what leadership is about. That's not what development is about. That's not how the Most High teaches. It's pure. It's about building you up, especially if you're willing to learn. It's the Most High is not going to upbraid and chastise and correct if you are in the spirit of trying to learn.
Exactly.
That's all we're trying to explain. It's not about upbraiding if a person is young and they're trying to grow. You build them up. Am I trying to build a person up, or am I constantly, frequently tearing you down?
And this is why in young men councils, young officer councils, are you, if the man's trying, are you encouraging the good effort he's doing? You're supposed to encourage their good effort.
Because a lot of young men just want to tear down, cut.
What are you doing, bro?
When you sit back and read Jeremiah,
Yeah.
you cut and you break and then you build.
Yeah.
And you plant. You develop.
That's the emphasis.
That is the emphasis. But that's not how a narcissist thinks. It's I'm going to give a little bit, but I'm expecting a lot. And if you don't match my expectations, I'm cutting you down day in and day out.
I expect a lot from people that are spiritually deficient because they haven't been fed.
Yep.
That's why it's sick. The sickness is this person's unfed, unnourished, and untaught.
Yep.
And you're going to sit here and crap. Then why'd you call them the truth? Why are you here, bro? Are we here to get new sheep to destroy them? That defeats the purpose. That's why I said a narcissist, their mind is almost opposite. Their mind is opposite of Christ's words.
Yep.
Every time you hear Christ speak, when you look at the opposite scenario, that's the mind of the narcissist.
Yep.
I come first.
Yep.
My life's more important. I want to receive more than I want to give. Yeah, buddy.
So let's keep going. Ecclesiastes 20 and 15.
Ecclesiastes 20 and verse 15. He giveth little and upbraideth much.
He gives little and upbraids and chastises and corrects much. Read on.
He openeth his mouth like a cry.
He's yelling. He's arguing. He's screaming. There's always these badass
Complaining.
reports. There's always arguments. There's a bunch of bad reports, bad arguments with very little productive connections. Very little connections that bring forth positive fruit. Read on.
God. Today he lendeth, and tomorrow will he ask it again.
Because you know why? It was always about getting something back.
I wanted something.
I'm only giving something because I want something back immediately.
Tomorrow.
But we just read this about the narcissist. It said also they form relationships with other people only if they have something to gain. Because I'm only giving you this because I know I can get something back tomorrow. Is this not? Listen, what we're seeing about this narcissist is also about the wicked man or the fool. Moses calls him the fool. He calls him the wicked man. But there were narcissists back in Christ's time.
Yeah.
Back in the time of Esther, the whole nine. This isn't some new thing.
Nothing under the sun, bro.
Keep going.
God. Such an one is to be hated of the Most High and men.
So earlier verses says that man would hate him. Now this verse is the Most High hates this person. That's just a taker. That's a taker. That's more about what they can get from somebody than the service of giving back to a person. Well, says he hates that type of mind.
Anti-service, smiting the sheep.
Yep. Not about developing the sheep at all.
Taking.
But I'm going to take advantage of the position that I have while not giving and serving the flock. That's why the Most High hated the Pharisees so much.
Yeah.
It was a one-sided relationship.
Yeah.
It was all take from the weak, give nothing back. The weak owed me versus me owing them.
Because I'm educated.
That is a narcissist principle. I'm getting more from this relationship than I'm giving.
Yeah.
If you're in the spirit, you're giving more than you're gaining. If you're getting more than you get, if you're getting more than what you're giving out the deal, watch out. Now you're playing a king. You're playing like you're a lord and a king over people.
Yeah.
Especially when with the flock of the Most High. Are you giving? For all the fire and expectation you're putting on somebody, are you giving more than what you're expecting back from them? Mm-hmm. If not, you're out of pocket. Well, I told him once or twice, get out of here, all right? How many times it takes for you to figure shit out? How long it takes for you to change? How patient is the Most High been with you?
When it comes to them, they always expect mercy.
That's the point.
When it comes to others, they don't get mercy.
And now this is where Christ, the guy came to the king and said, I can't pay the debt.
Exactly.
Can you sit back here and give me a break? Yeah, I'll give you a break. He goes back to that same day and starts whipping his ass. The other guy that owed him.
less.
This is how Israel for way less. This is how Israel operates. We don't understand that for what I'm expecting of a person, how much have you invested into a person to expect what you're expecting? That's where the narcissism kicks in. I give you little and I expect all this back.
I don't want to do the work.
Of course, because I'm selfish. I'm in this box, man. I got this costume I'm wearing.
And remember, the mind of the narcissist is about.
I'm not condescending. Okay. Read on.
Verse 16.
So that narcissist is hated of the Most High in man. That's a monster. Read on.
It says, how oft?
But they love their costumes.
Verse 16.
They love themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Love their costumes.
Yeah.
At the detriment of the Most High.
Read that.
God. Ecclesiastes 20, verse 16. The fool saith, I have
So the
no
Most High
friend.
calls him a fool.
Come.
But the fool says what?
I have no friend.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody loves me.
But your whole world's been about taking from people. And they still say nobody cares. Because a friend's supposed to be show themselves what?
Friendly.
You got to give to get. That narcissist doesn't have friends because they keep taking. They keep using. They'll give you a little bit and want more the next day. The relationships are always one-sided.
How come we're not brothers? Because
you don't care. How come you want to hang out with me? Because you're a taker. Everything's one-sided.
Yeah.
You only want to do the things you want to do. If it ain't what you want to do, you don't want to show up. I don't have no friends. Well, why don't you do things other people want to do? You sit at your little kids. Nobody wants you to play with me. Well,
stop being narcissist, sir.
Well, listen. Are you doing the things the kids want to do? No. I want to play in the boats. Well, shit, ain't nobody want to play boats today. So get off your boat focus and focus on some damn blocks, huh? Go play in blocks. I don't want to play by the way. You're going to be alone, my guy. I want to tell you. Either you're going to stop playing blocks and play, or stop playing boats and go deal with the damn blocks, or you ain't going to have no friends. Mm-hmm. Anyway, you get my point? That fool is that narcissist that is hated of the Most High in men.
What makes him a fool also is that I've never corrected it.
I've never corrected because I've always painted the picture like I'm the victim. Nobody cares about me. But the reality is, it's always about you. And you can never get enough, that narcissist cannot never get enough supply to their want. Their want is endless. Their hunger is unexplainable. They always got to sit back here and feed that flesh, huh? It's never ending. So I have no friends. Read on.
This is the fool saying, I have no friends. I have no thank for all my good deeds.
I've done so much for everybody. You are ingrate, you're ungrateful. Till they go back to upbraiding people.
Exactly.
Now they're back in their.
I did counsel you. I counseled you 2 weeks ago. What? That's it? I talked about this a month ago. That's it? So because I counseled a month ago, now I'm supposed to be respected and appreciated forever?
That's the spirit of Esau when it comes to these foreign countries.
That's black people.
Yeah, it's black. I'm just saying.
I get it's Esau, man.
I'm not blaming Esau. What I'm saying is
it's the evil of the devil.
No, I'm saying
in America.
No.
Okay.
You go into that when it goes to geopolitics, when it comes to the small countries.
I know you do, man.
I was trying to open the door for that.
Listen, I get it. Listen, this society is narcissistic. You're right. Esau, the whole idea of unipolar world is narcissistic. I just want to make sure this class is for Israelites who walk around here like they're kings and gods and never want to deal with the sick and never want to condescend to their people, to their wife, to their children, to brothers, to somebody at this door. They don't want to condescend to brothers and listen to their wives and be better brothers to young men. That's what this is about.
And people gotta suffer behind it.
Because you sit back and talk about Esau. Oh yeah, it is Esau. It's Esau. It's the white man. It's him. It's not me. It's you. It's us.
Well, Esau was a Hebrew.
Okay, there we go.
How about that?
Nah, he is. But we're not talking about all Hebrews. There's a lot of people. Okay.
The Negroes.
Let's keep
and
going.
The Negroes and
let's keep going. But that was a good verse. Let me see.
You want to finish it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It says, I have no thank for all my good deeds. And they that eat my bread speak evil of me.
Eat my bread.
Listen, you gave him a rich cracker. That's it, Because I gave you that little bit You're taking advantage of all my goodness.
Remember that one time I did something good for you, that one time?
That's the point. You give very little, and you expect all this praise and adulation and focus referred back to you.
And they use the good they do for you against you.
That's what they
How
give
dare you
little.
speak against me? I put tire in your air. How dare you? I mean, I put air in your tire.
Yeah.
It's like I put
Tire,
air in
that's hell of a move right there. Tire in your
They
air.
did a miracle for you. Damn, you gotta give them something, right? But no, but the spirits, they hold what they do good for you as they weaponize their good deeds against you.
Okay.
And that's the problem. If you did a good deed out, you did a good deed and call it a day. Don't weaponize your good deeds and hold it as leverage over men, because now it's another control tactic, a manipulation tactic.
And that's what this guy is in this verse. It's all about manipulation. I give you little, but with the little I gave you is magnified like it's more than just the little thing you gave.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now we're in the fourth explanation again. Hard to understand feelings and needs of people around them, to put themselves in their shoes. They lack empathy. They look at people as objects, there to serve their needs. And this is how, if I'm dealing with an object, I give an object a very little thing. Now I'm supposed to get an immediate return for that service. I don't look at you as a person. If I look at you as a person, I understand I have to really invest time, energy, and spirit into something that I value. But because very little was put into you, it's because you're not valued.
Exactly.
The narcissist doesn't value the sick. If you can hold off, it'll be great. You too, if you can. Okay. Let's continue. It says sometimes, what it says, they look at people as objects there to serve their needs. Sometimes the exploitation is obvious. Sometimes it is oblivious.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just not. That's why we have class. Because some people operate like narcissists and they don't even know it. Because they told themselves this lie, this narrative, that they're this good guy, they're doing the best thing they can, and people just don't understand it. Or people just don't care. This narcissist, and we're reading about Ecclesiastes, really thinks he was doing the best he could. And that people didn't understand him. And they didn't appreciate the good he did for them.
They're the ones being torn down, and they're the ones being taken advantage.
Yeah,
They're the ones
I'm getting used. Nobody cares about me.
Oh my God. But this is the sincere thought process, and that's what makes them a fool.
God.
They're not living in biblical reality. They might be living their own personal reality, their truth, but they're living in biblical reality. Yep. There's not more than one person that's biblically sound that can say, I agree to your premise of thinking.
God. And it's also a person who really only trusts his own counsel. He doesn't allow other counselors to help guide and shape his thinking.
And this is the mind of the fool. The narcissist connected with the idea of the fool.
Yep.
He's also the what? The bad shepherd, the taker, right?
Mm-hmm.
The user, the Pharisee mentality. This mind state is a part of a lot of people that God has a problem with. Yep. So we have to deal with this. We have to attack this idea.
Okay. So we read the fifth one where it says they form relationships with people only if there's a gain to it. Without something to gain, they cut off those relationships. And then this sixth one kind of goes and kind of coincides with
And you say most of these men doing this, right?
It's mostly men. And this other one kind of coincides with C, the third one.
Did you hit E? I know we skipped to F.
I'm going to E right now.
Oh, okay.
But I did it and I went so it can flow right way.
Okay.
Because E is the narcissist disrespects, manipulates, lies, and hurts others. And that goes in lines with everything we've been saying. So D, F, E, and all are saying the same thing. The disrespect, the manipulation, because the manipulation is there because of what? Because if I can't, I'm going to read this one here. It says, also, they form relationships with other people only if they can gain. So that's manipulation. I'm only dealing with you if I can get something out the deal. If I can't get something out the deal, then I'm going to discard you and look for somebody else who can give me something that I need from you. I need something. I need to feel a certain way. I need you to make me feel a certain way.
I'm in need.
So if you're not going to give me something, I'm going to find somebody else who can give it to me.
And I'm still going to tear you down.
Yes. And I'm going to still
I'm
tear you
gonna tear you down if you give me something. I'm going to tear you down if you don't give me something.
I'm going to get rid of you if you don't give me anything. Listen, I'm going to get rid of you if you don't give me something.
God.
If you give me something, I'm going to still make you feel low because I got to maintain my superiority and my dominance.
Yeah.
This is the Jews have problems, man. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 6 so far. Yes, sir?
Go ahead.
So it's not just getting something physical, it's an emotion. Like
Yes.
give me an emotion.
It's not just physical.
Feeling.
Yes, because the feeling of being superior over somebody matters to the narcissist. The feeling that I make you feel low, that makes me feel what? High. For the fact that you sit back here and look at me like I'm your savior, like I'm your strength, that makes me feel like what? A man. It's about that exchange of power that the narcissist is looking for.
And also, to be honest,
But they'll call, you got to be in order. Listen, and once again, I'm not saying that women are supposed to serve their husbands and brothers aren't supposed to be in order, but there is a responsibility that men and people have when you're in a position of authority. It's still about service.
Yeah.
It's still about, I got to give my mind to counsel and develop you and pick up your spirit.
The narcissist does not want to do that. They want to present a mask, break it down.
Because it's too much work to build somebody up. It's too much damn work.
I want to say this one point.
Yes, sir, please.
One point. And you just said the concept about a person desiring someone to be good to them, but I still make them feel important. A lot of times in a relationship, it's also, I'm
going to say this line and then you say that.
Okay.
Hold that statement. Because this is kind of out of order. But it's letter G, but I was going to use it for later. Letter G, the narcissist has an excessive need for admiration.
okay. So
I gotta have people around me that admire me and make me feel like I'm cared for. Just like in Ecclesiastes 20 where it says, nobody cares, I've been helping them, I've been giving them, and nobody gives a shit about me.
But also they do is, and this a lot of people miss. They might miss this point. They make other people suffer, knowing they're suffering, but they feel good because somebody's suffering for them.
Yes, that's the admiration.
That is a subliminal. It's these. I don't say cuss on. I'm not gonna cuss this on. I've done it before a million times. I'm not gonna do it today. What they're gonna do is, I know I'm tearing you down. I know you're hurting inside, and you don't leave, and you're sitting there tolerating my negative. And because you're suffering and tolerating my negative, it makes me feel important. I feel important because you love me enough to tolerate. Because remember, suffering other people is an act of love. Suffering other human beings is an act of love. But because I don't feel loved, I have to make you suffer so that you suffering and still being there for me makes me feel better. I'm important to that.
And that's why a lot of people choose emotionally needy people to surround yourselves with to get that admiration.
Yeah. It's not just blowing you up.
People will choose the emotionally unstable woman to keep them as a wife next to them. Because that emotionally needy person feeds the narcissist. The broken spirit feeds the narcissist. The person that I am that's super clingy and insecure and broken inside, then I have her. Because that person ain't going nowhere, and that person's neediness and weakness and their desire to always cleave to me makes me feel like the man I want to feel like.
And that's why it's a sickness. And when their confidence in their development is a threat to them.
Yeah.
So I
gotta break you quick if you sit back and speak against me or have proper questions and ask me to get accountable. I gotta break that quick and reverse and throw it back about how you're deficient.
What about you? Throw the mirror game. We're gonna play the mirror game. What about you?
And you already have a proclivity. You already have a proclivity to look down on yourself anyway. Exactly. So if I make you feel bad, you don't look at me. So now you're coming back to me trying to make things right to me.
And I feel really good secretly inside. I feel really good because it's really they want to be worshipped on a spiritual level.
Yes.
On a spiritual level, I'm gonna tell you the truth.
It's the excessive need for admiration.
Exactly.
That's a form of worship.
It's pre-Luciferian. As I said, it's pre-Luciferian. This mindset, I'm not gonna say you're Lucifer worshiper, but it's very, very close. A couple notches above, and it's do as thou will. So I'm getting a high off of your suffering. I'm getting a high off your poverty. That's why I don't build you up. Because if I build you up, guess what? You don't need me.
Yeah. And now you'll leave me, and now I have nobody to admire me anymore. Yes.
I just want a definition of idolatry. It says excessive attachment or veneration for anything, or that which borders on adoration.
There we go. Adoration means to adore.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to adore me to make my costume real.
Yes.
Because your costume ain't
There you
real. And your costume's not real.
If you don't got no fans,
If ain't nobody.
you gotta have a fan. You need fans, huh? You need groupies, huh? To see if I can make the costume real, like make the lie real.
God, like the comfort. I had to say the comforter.
Yeah,
right?
the comforter.
The comforter is a good example of that high degree level of narcissism with scriptures, with the Bible, manipulating, using tactics, using mind control tactics, manipulating weak, undeveloped, mentally deficient people, and putting them in this revolving cycle of poverty to make him feel good. Now we have comfort in Israel. He's dead now, of course, but we have little bitty comforters, little bitty guys that are smaller.
That if given the opportunity,
Yeah.
would sit back here and run people to the ground.
They're lesser versions and less skillful versions of those type of character types. So we're teaching this class so people can see this. So this environment isn't. We can't support that in this environment.
And I'm gonna say this. This is why it's important that if you see this in people, bring in the council. Rapes too. Why are we gonna sit back here and hide things? What the scripture says, the things that are done in the dark get brought to the light. So if there's negative being done, don't be afraid. Bring it to the light so we can sit back and help remedy the issues. Are we in the truth?
Or we in secrecy?
Or should the truth supposed to make you free, right?
Got it.
So listen, at least if things are brought to the open, now the battleground is set. Now things have to start getting worked on and dealt with, so we can sit back here and everybody can feel defended in the spirit.
Yeah.
But that narcissist wants admirers. So what does that narcissist target? Insecure people.
Weaker people.
Weaker-minded people, clingy people, broken people, because I can use them to feed and nurture me. And they're less apt to look at me because they hate themselves
Because
so
they have
much.
lots of fear.
And self-loathing.
They have a lot of fear. Because if you have that spirit of self-loathing and fear, you can see in others. And now I need you to be connected with me. And then I'm going to sit here. They call it love bombing. You research.
But I give you the costume. See,
Yeah.
I see it in you because it's in me. But I'm going to present the image of stability.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the image that I'm the answer guy.
I'm the hero.
I'm the solution guy.
I'm the solution guy.
Listen,
I'm aware.
here's part L.
Yeah.
The narcissist created an image of stability and confidence, not actualized in developing others.
There you go.
You said it again.
The narcissist creates an image of stability and confidence, not actualized in developing
They
others.
play counselor. I gotta say,
I create the solution. I'm the answer
No.
guy to the insecure woman.
yeah.
But really, I don't follow through on the image I presented to you.
And-
Because it's really about you serving me
Yeah.
and admiring me versus me developing you.
Exactly. Cause I'm a TAN. I'm a taking guy.
Oh, taken as Negro.
I'm a taking ass Negro. So I'm gonna play the fake counselor. It's not the fake.
It's fake
ass
care. It's
counselor.
fake care.
I care so much. Oh, let me show you the scripture
The
right
scripture.
here. I got a scripture for you. But their actions don't show that. It's bullshit. And a lot of people that are not scripturally discerned have to suffer.
I'm gonna go
And
here.
men, men gotta suffer too. Not just women. A lot of men gotta suffer too. Cause men come in, men don't read the Bible. They be like, oh man, this Bible thing, I'm a brute. Shalom, man. They didn't try to study. Well, you're just suffering then, cause you don't want to study. Now you gotta sit and go through a cycle of poverty behind fake answer givers and fake counselors that just take, and then you're always the problem. You're the reason why the camp's not going good. You're the reason why everything's falling. It's always you. It's never their leadership. It's always you. That's for husbands. That's for leaders. It's for everybody. That's why the solution is Christ, which is service. The more you serve, guess what? How come the camp's not running well? You're not serving well enough. How come the household's breaking down? You're not serving enough. How come your men are weak mentally? Then what do you have to do to adjust to make them better? You got to serve some more. They don't like that seat.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to L again. We're gonna go to M too.
Yeah.
Now the order's all messed up. It was G, L, M all kind of linking each other. So the narcissist create an image of stability and confidence, not actualized in developing others. So what they do is they sit back here, create the image that they can be the counselor to the weak spirit, only to get the weak spirit to admire them and serve them.
Not
but
for
not
the actual
give it
healer.
back, not for the actual healer. So now we go on to M, letter M, and it's narcissist in marriage. The narcissists want admirers, not partners. They want somebody to sit back here and feed their supply of what they need spiritually. This is about spiritual. Because the scripture says, if I give unto you spiritual things, shall I not reap your carnal? So the point is, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this woman serving you, but you got to feed them spiritually. That's what we're responsible to do. Get that? But the problem is the narcissists don't want to feed them spiritually.
If you love me,
they will give them very minimal
feed my
fucking counsel
just not to
and
leave.
get maximum back to them.
I give you enough not to quit.
Exactly. That's the thing.
You said what in the Myers?
The narcissists in marriage want admirers, not partners. Their unstable ego needs to be the focus. Because that's where the disconnect is.
It's not about their spiritual growth.
Nope.
It's about nourishing the holes and the voids that are within me that are hiding inside this shell that I created.
Yep.
So I put the shell on. Within the shell is a bunch of holes and voids. And I'm going to suck your soul like a vampire and pull your spirit as much as I can and exploit you as much as I can so I can feel good to nourish those holes with temporary. Your suffering is a nourishment from my emotional voids and lack. You have to build my ego, in short speak.
Got it.
I need you to benefit my ego so I don't have to deal with my reality.
Got it. Then we got a partner's desires and feelings don't count. Now we understand that a wife's supposed to serve, so her priority is supposed to be you. But that doesn't mean that the things she needs don't count at all.
Her needs don't matter.
But in a narcissist mindset, it's a one-way relationship is the point in the narcissist mind. Or it's 90-10.
Yeah. The ratio is garbage.
That is the constant theme of the narcissist.
I brought you the truth.
Yep.
I showed you the scripture about I'm a man. I told you I'm a man.
And you got to be in order.
I'm a man because I'm a man.
Yep.
Okay,
Because I'm a man. Because the Bible tells me I'm a man.
Okay, bro.
And you
We know you're a
serve
man.
me.
We know you're a man because you got a beard. Now, what else are you going to do besides have a beard? What spiritual nourishment are you going to give the spirits in your house?
Got it.
Or the men that you're over?
Listen, let's go to Philippians 3 and 18.
I'm a general. I'm a captain.
General.
I've been the truth this many years before you. I knew Christ was black before you knew Christ was black.
God. So let's read verse 18. Somebody, 3 and 18. Philippians 3 and 18.
Philippians 3 and verse 18. It says, "For many walk, of whom I have told you."
And now,
For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of
Because
Yahushua.
these people are the enemies of the cross of Christ. And you talked about there was a spirit of Satan, right? In this narcissistic mind.
Yeah.
He's going to explain who are enemies of the cross of Christ. Read on.
Whose end is destruction.
Whose end is destruction. Meaning, when they finish up their lifespan, it's destruction because of what? Read on.
Whose God is their belly.
Their God is their belly. They follow their flesh.
that's their power.
The only thing that matters is their flesh. And making sure that flesh gets nurtured. Making sure that flesh is the number one priority.
Ego.
That ego is the belly. That ego is the belly. So I'm going to have as many insecure people I have around me to feed that weak, broken ego inside of me.
That I won't solve biblically.
Exactly.
That I won't counsel about biblically.
And if you're not going to feed my ego, I'm going to discard you. If you're a brother and you can't feed my ego, I'm not going to spend any time.
You're of no benefit.
I'm not going to invest into you.
God.
I'm going to move around you and only be around the people that can feed my ego.
That helps.
I have an ulterior lifestyle of people that feed my ego. I won't spend time with brothers because I'm spending that time dealing with people who feed my ego.
Just satiate my spirit.
You are a servant to your belly.
God.
Your belly is your power, is your idol.
Yeah.
Because that's what that narcissist is. His ego is his God. And everything revolves around their ego.
Yeah.
So, but those are the people whose end is destruction.
It's Lucifer. It's very close to Luciferian, bro.
God? But just keep going.
God. Whose end is destruction.
No, yes. Keep.
Whose God is their belly. And whose
Stop.
glory.
Their glory is in their belly. Their belly is their glory. Their ego is their glory. But their glory, which is their ego, is also their what?
Is in their shame.
Is in their shame. Their shame is the fact that their spiritual shame is the fact that they put their ego first. And they weren't servants of the body. They served their flesh. Read on.
Who mind earthly things.
Who mind earthly
And
things.
that's the perfect example. It's always about a low caliber, low degree desire.
Yep.
Scripture says, look at things above. Things above are love, peace, joy, spiritual development of men, growth of the body, helping people out, investing, recruiting, doing all these spiritual righteous things.
Yeah.
They don't really take joy in that because for what?
Verse 20
What am I?
explains it.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Read verse 20.
God, verse 20. For our conversation is in heaven.
Our conversation is spiritual. The things we value is spiritual. The narcissist doesn't value spiritual things. The narcissist doesn't value the fact that we counseled this young brother and got him stronger. He's taking strides in his development, and he's better today than he was yesterday. He came a long way.
How does it help me?
That's the point. It's not feeding my ego. It's too much work. I had to get too much time to this guy. I need time for me.
It's not a good balance.
That's the point. And that's why we're going back to that distemper. What is a distemper? It is a disappropriate mixture of parts. To be specific, a bad constitution of mind. Your constitution of mind is put together the wrong way. It's constructed wrong. Because the priorities are you versus the body.
It's abnormal. It's spiritually abnormal.
That's the point. An undue predominance of a passion or appetite.
But you can't tell them nothing. That's the problem. They'll know this. It's not like they don't know this. They'll know either ever so often the mask falls off and they know what's going on, but they don't want to fix it.
Bro, it's a want of a due balance of parts.
Yeah.
You're lacking of some balance.
Yeah.
You're lacking of spiritual clarity. You're in balance and you're not trying to get balance.
Which means I have bad judgment. If I'm imbalanced, it means I have bad judgment.
And that also means how you perceive things is all off. How you look at things is wrong. How you balance things out, how you measure judgment is off.
How you measure men, how you measure people, how you measure situations, how you measure conditions.
How you measure your importance.
Yeah.
It's all off.
In the social realm, in the camp realm, in the spiritual realm, in the realm of personality, I'm always viewing people off. I always have a negative or slanted off perspective because I have a wrong or inaccurate due element of parts. I'm imbalanced.
And he says, want of due balance of parts or opposite qualities and principles. Your principles are opposite.
It's not biblical.
Yes.
You have opinions that don't match the Bible, but you're over me.
Your value system isn't spiritual.
Yeah. But I got scriptures though.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Pharisees. Lots of scriptures did not match the principles of the Bible.
No doubt. Okay, so
in practice.
In practice, listen. Read Philippians 1:15.
Philippians chapter 1, verse 15.
One second, let me get there real quick. And this verse goes right into what you were saying before. Read that.
Philippians chapter 1, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Some indeed preach Yahushua, even of envy and strife.
Some people teach Christ of envy and strife.
No,
they don't teach Christ out of the spirit of giving to make sure others get. People teach because there's an envy of what a person has, and they need what a person got. Some people teach based on the fact that you have what I need.
I'm teaching to take.
I'm teaching to take, and I'll call it brotherhood.
That's a salesman.
I'm teaching because I need something from you. I need your resources. I need your time,
your labor,
your money, your labor. So there's that people teach out of a narcissistic supply.
Yeah.
People teach to use. Because if I envy what you have, that means I need to use you so I can feel complete.
And for a person that's not scriptural, that doesn't really know the Bible like that, they're young. Guess what? You're gonna play the take advantage game.
Done.
You gotta suffer.
And this is the scare. This is why in our school we don't just elevate men for the hell of it. We're not just gonna rank men up because they're good guys and they smile and we're cool.
Your decision.
It's more than that. If you can't go through a gauntlet of checks and balances and responsibilities, then you know, and you're not vetted properly, you're not getting where you want to be. Yes, sir. Because some people teach of strife and envy. That means people teach to get their rocks off.
Out of covetousness.
So, and that's what it is. It's out of covetousness.
Because strife and envy is covetousness.
Yes.
I want what somebody else has. Oh, he got a nice car. Oh, he got a nice house. Oh, he got this resource. Oh, he got mad money. Hey, it's time to tithe, brother. It's time to tithe. What you need, bro? How you feeling? Oh, you got no money? Hey, bro, good to see you.
I'm
Come back to class.
just giving you basic
I'll see you, man.
depths.
Christ is black, bro. Holla at you, bro. Hey, you, I know you got, how's that case going? Oh, you might get some
For
paper.
real?
You might get some paper?
That's what's happening in your
Oh,
life?
man, let me help you out, man. You know, tell your this, huh? Tell that sister this. Oh, you gonna give me
There's
this?
plenty of counsel where that
Yeah,
comes from,
bomb.
brother. Just call me.
Yeah, I'm gonna call away, brother.
Yep.
Shalom.
It's all about the Most High.
It's all about your house.
Brotherhood.
Brother, this is why you have to sit here and read the scriptures for real, so you can survive in this one.
Because the scary thing is when these guys get breakdowns and they think they're teachers and they're going to manipulate people because there is a lot of covetousness in men.
That's what it is.
Because their God is their belly. Because they're low-key, high-key narcissists.
Yeah.
You had your hand up, sir?
Yeah.
Whatever key, middle key.
All kind of keys.
All kind of keys. Major key. Whatever keys you want to give.
It's major key.
Major keys.
Yeah.
What you going to say?
I was gonna say, is that similar to the prosperity gospel? In, like,
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, we know,
like
most of us know the prosperity angle is about covetousness, no doubt. But I'm talking about even amongst Israel, in general. We're just attacking and going out that narcissistic spirit. It don't have to be, I'm taking your tithes. It could just be the giving isn't in the purest form. I'm only giving a little bit to get what I want.
And I want favors.
Exactly.
I desire favors.
This is why the Most High kept talking about in Corinthians about the greatest thing you can do is the acts of charity.
Yeah.
Giving for free. Charity and alms.
Without expectation.
Alms removes a multitude of sins. Because when you give for free, that's the purest effort you can give. Because a lot of people teach to get something out the deal. How you know you give a shit about your wife is you teach and give to her when you know you're not getting nothing out of return. When you know that your efforts for your brother and the brothers around you, you get nothing back, that's how you know it's pure. And the Most High in all of our lives is looking at that. Are you giving just to get an advantage? Or are you giving with no expectation? That is the greatest level of the type of giving, the greatest type of giving.
It's quiet leadership.
And we're trying to eliminate that selfish taken spirit that Israel has had from the beginning. Because that's what's corrupted us. Either brothers come in with that mindset or they end up breaking and succumbing to that mindset.
They de-evolve or they come in and they don't get vetted properly.
Exactly.
It really is. It's the leadership's job to structure and make sure young captains and young officers graduate and they're in the right psychological position to teach and help and develop.
Mm-hmm.
But if the elder misses a spot or two, hey, bro, you gotta wait for Christ to sit here and fix it.
Yeah.
And Christ will do it, but people gotta suffer in the process.
Kinda. Huh? So let's go to Ephesians 5:22 real quick. Well, hold on. Before we go there, yeah, let's do it real quick. We'll run through it. Ephesians 5:22 through 26.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22 and verse 26.
Wait, did we read from this one?
1 and 15, right? We read that, right?
Oh, I didn't know. I was spaced out.
Yeah, they teach how to envy and strife.
Yeah.
Read that.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
So when we're dealing with this whole selfish man thing, we're not talking about some 50-50 thing either, right? We're not sitting back here acting like you got to sit back and listen to every emotional plea that your wife is bringing out. That's not what we're saying. A wife is supposed to serve her husband, and her priority is to make sure her husband is taken care of. That doesn't change. Read on.
As unto the Lord.
So she has to sit back here and serve her husband as unto the Lord. Read on.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Yahushua is the head of the church.
So the husband is the head of the wife, like Christ is the head of the church. And then read the next part.
And he is the savior of the body.
Okay, so I'm trying to make sure.
Christ makes sure that he dispensed himself for the needs of the church body.
There's another verse I was looking for, but we'll keep reading this. The whole point is that he gave his life.
Is Christ like the church?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 25?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay. Keep going. Keep reading it. Keep reading it.
Come. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Yahushua, So let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
So the wife is still supposed to serve their husband, and their focus should be about serving them. But a lot of times with that, men get selfish, and that narcissism in men is still there, and they don't realize what they have to commit to them to ensure that they're proper servants to them.
And the truth is, I remember when I first learned this. It blew my mind. I said, brothers told me, you are a servant to your wife also. That blew my mind, bro. I said, what the hell are you talking about?
You're a servant to her spirit?
I didn't know, but I didn't know that. I was like,
a lot of people don't know it. I'm telling you, they don't.
I was talking about,
you serve me.
My clothes on the ground.
I'm the king.
You need to pick them up. What are you talking about? I'm a man. According to the Bible, I'm a man. My clothes on the ground.
So you gonna throw the shirt over there?
I was like, I didn't throw it anywhere.
You gonna have that sock? You gonna have no like this? You supposed to pick.
No, I ain't do that, but I'm like, look.
You know that?
I'm not finna do all this cleaning and picking stuff up. I wasn't like that. Come on, I wasn't like that guy. I'm not even saying that. I was not doing that. I had to fight on this one. I had to fight back on that one. I would be like, man, you know what?
I was just making it as blanket cover.
You complaining about picking all this stuff up. You're supposed to do that because you're the woman. That's what I used to think. And I realized, you know what? Over time, listen, bro. Okay, she might pick up this and do this and that, but you can't be a slob. I know. It doesn't give you the right to be a slob. It doesn't give you the right to be lazy. It doesn't give you the right to.
You gonna eat meals like this?
Yeah. I ate my plate.
Like the chicken bones. I like the Garfield fish that's always out here with the bones. Like it's like get the bones.
Let's just drop the plate. I'm done eating. I'm out of here. You don't get to be an asshole because you're the man. You don't get to be the asshole. You have to be the husband. That means gardener. You gotta sit here and make sure the leaves are taken care of, the roots taken care of, the soil's quality. You're protecting your plant.
You have to create an environment of hope.
Yes.
You try to at least.
Yes. Bro.
An environment of peace.
Yeah. It's not just you're supposed to you're my slave thing, huh? That's a young man's mindset.
But see, or a narcissist that never figures it out. That's a real thing.
It's a
topic of the class is narcissism. Part 2. The narcissist thinks that way.
Yeah.
You're here for me. We read it. We just read it earlier. It says it was G, I think. Excessive need for admiration.
You know I'm a prince. You know I'm a prince.
A narcissist wants admirers.
Yeah.
They want somebody to admire them. They don't want to sit back here and have to give themselves to developing that spirit. That's too much work. I want an admirer. I'll pick somebody who knows that they chose up in their relationship.
Yeah.
So they keep their place. You gotta look like, oh, you gonna leave? You gonna leave? You gonna step down in your choice next time? You know you chose up 2 levels.
Yeah.
Men choose like that to keep that leverage over people. I'm dead ass serious.
But then they hate the same person that they chose. I chose a sick person because I can have the advantage, but I hate the fact they're sick. What are you doing, huh?
The only solution is you got to develop and give.
Help this person get to par.
But that means you got to lose your life.
But I don't want to do that.
And there we go. And this is the circle. The cycle continues. We're in this circle forever.
Yes.
But let's keep going.
Verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Yahushua also loved the church.
And the wife has to serve, and the husband has to sit back here and love his wife like Christ loved the church. But you got to sit back and find out what that spirit needs to get strengthened. What does this spirit need to get built up? Not just you're off, you're not good enough, you're not kind of crazy shit is that?
That's a shitty coach. You wouldn't even play basketball for. You wouldn't hoop for a coach like that. You wouldn't play football for. You wouldn't live for.
I'm transferring, nigga. I'm going to there's other schools that will give me some playing time.
Yeah. You're on the bench again.
Transfer portal like a mug. I'm deucing this guy out.
Yeah, we can see that in shitty coaches in high school. Yeah. We can't see it with our own leadership though.
And this is the lesson for wives. Wait. The end. No more class. We're gonna close class on that shit.
Hey, you better love Jesus. You better love Jesus. Jesus will save you.
W-A-I-T.
The house shot will help you get
wiggity,
through.
wiggity, wait.
Yeah.
My point is wait and take time to know this person. Listen, whether it's a woman or a man, you can only be fake for so long. That's why he's supposed to wait. What's a court for? A court? Wait a year? Can you wait a year? Hot pants?
It's for the young. It's for the young kisses. For the
hot pants. Can you wait a year so you can figure out this dude?
Yeah.
Just wait. Anyway, man. Where are we at in that verse? Read verse 25 again.
Okay. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Yahushua also loved the church and gave himself for it.
So the husband is supposed to understand that, yes, that woman's supposed to serve him, but also he's supposed to keep teaching and developing this spirit to build them up, not tear them down. Read on.
That matters.
That matters everything.
Because
that's what a husband's supposed to do.
How you are in your house is how you are with the men.
Yep.
We're gonna play this game, bro.
That's what the scripture
You're
says.
not cutting it on, cutting it off, and you're this way at the house secretly, but then you're the man.
Give me that
you're
verse,
doing it
somebody.
right.
You can't run the house of the Lord if you can't run your house right. You be infidel. It's an infidel verse.
Oh, the infidel verse?
I got a whole class coming out.
Okay. Well, this is one verse.
Okay,
dang.
I'm just joking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the one.
Yeah. 1 Timothy 5 and 8. But if any provide not for his own,
that's not just talking about cash. All right. That's all spirit, man.
I pay bills.
Yeah, I just throw the money at everything. That's not the damn issue.
You want Birkin
Those lame ass
crying?
husbands that just drop bread and to give no spirit.
We're gonna eat at SeaWorld tonight, man. That's not SeaWorld.
Nobody gonna eat at SeaWorld, dude. Chicken and fries? We having chicken and fries today. Fish and chips.
We going to see. We gonna get some seafood.
With that special lemonade.
Exactly.
You know, I was supposed to have like a fancy lemonade act.
Yeah.
Cotton candy.
This is nice.
You having cotton candy today?
I'm
sorry. What you gonna say?
No, it's just.
You a Red Lobster? You know
we can't eat Red Lobster.
Sea Island Night?
Yeah, we gonna.
Well, you can have fish at Red Lobster. Right?
Yeah.
You just can't have Red Lobster.
God, I just think you gotta stream people sometimes.
Red Snapper. Okay, we'll just get Red Snapper, sir.
So, cause I was a jerk and asshole. The solution is Red Snapper.
There we go. It can't be that. So the providing is providing what a woman needs spiritually. Read on again from the top again.
1 Timothy 5 and 8. But if any provide not for his own, and specially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith.
He's denied that person's faith. You haven't given this person anything to build their faith on.
Am I walking in the Spirit of Christ?
Because you haven't given them anything to build. What do you bring to the table spiritually to assist in this sister's walk?
You're telling them that Christ is. Remember, you're the image of Christ.
Yep.
To your wife,
yep.
You're the image of Christ. To your men, you're the idea of Christ. Partially, because all men are flawed, right? But you're supposed to be a similitude to Christ, so you can draw spirit off.
You know what hope is? Even in the things you're not strong at, he's changing. He changed. I see he's changing, so that gives me hope. Listen, I've been in a camp where I see men over me ain't changing. That's not hopeful. That's not a hopeful camp. There's a lot of distress there. Like, this brother ain't changing. This is forever. Shit. And I guess it's the same thing in a marriage. If that brother ain't changing for a dime, shit, you're creating a very difficult situation for her to navigate in. Yeah. It's the truth. Anyway.
And listen, Christ. The scripture is also showing that Christ is going to hold us responsible for piss poor leadership, piss poor husbandship, piss poor leadership, and piss poor representation of the scriptures.
Because you're not living what you're demanding.
I mean, back in the day, I got a bad report years ago. Years ago, this brother was Cook Council was weird, but started beating her with the Bible. And he wasn't a brother in our camp. He was just a young man coming to the camp trying to learn. But his idea of checking his rib was beating her with the Bible.
Physically?
Yeah.
That's
horrible. That's a
horrible.
Bad
guy right
He's one of the worst reports I ever got in my life. I'm like, damn, what?
So whenever the Bible comes out, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm running.
It's a weapon. Men use the scripture, the Bible, as an attack mechanism versus a healing mechanism.
Horrible.
The Bible's for healing, bro.
But I'm gonna say this: a lot of times, brothers use the Bible just to cut.
That's it.
Also, a lot of times, the only time brothers teach is to cut. You ain't gonna get nothing done that way either. Whenever you open up, oh, what did I do wrong this time? That means if that's how
you
this person
don't
thinks,
teach me unless you want to
created an environment of teaching.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a belt.
Yeah.
All the time we read the Bible, scripture time is cut time.
And then you wonder
You're a
why,
bad person.
And you wonder why they don't want to hear the Bible. Oh, she's wicked. Is she wicked, or are you not good at your training?
How about that one?
Because you don't follow it. You're not following the example that your elders gave. How about that? Because maybe they're blaming it on all the she's just wicked, she's wicked, she's wicked. The young men are all wicked. Everybody's wicked. But you're not following the example of your teacher.
Nope.
You're doing it your way, and then your product is inferior, and so now they're wicked. No, bro, it's your lack of ability to follow, and your lack of ability to make the changes to get the right product when you teach.
Mm-hmm.
But they're wicked, she's wicked, everybody's off. I'm perfect.
So let's finish verse 26.
You want that verse?
What verse?
Rule your own household.
Huh?
Rule your own household.
Yeah. Did you finish that verse in Timothy?
1 Timothy 5 and 8.
Yeah. Did you finish it? He had denied the faith. Read on.
He had denied the faith, and it's worse than an infidel.
Now keep going. Read that one.
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 5.
1 Timothy. 1 second. 1 Timothy 3 verse 5. What do you got?
For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of the Most High?
It's the same thing. How you operate your home is how you run your school. If you live a double life at home versus the school, then you're gonna sit back and do the same thing in your camp.
Sure.
And you're gonna sit back here and you take that verse and couple it with, I think it's Ecclesiasticus, where it says, as the man, as the head's officer are,
So the people.
or as the head is, so is the officers.
Yeah.
So however you run your camp, however you maintain and stay on top of your spirit, the young men are a direct reflection of you.
Yeah.
So this is why it's so important that you show selflessness, mercy, forgiveness, and brotherhood, so that the men under you that are watching will do the same thing, and the same thing for your wife.
And follow
If
your
you
good
show
steps.
mercy, you show patience, you uplift them, they'll uplift the people that they come across and come in contact with, sisters and brothers.
And it benefits your children.
And the children.
Because if she's following your path, then guess what? She's going to implement those same policies with the children.
No doubt.
But if you're at this narcissistic path, she's going to be a narcissist with the children because she's empowered over the children.
Okay?
It trickles downhill.
Yes, it does. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go, we went over that. We might be able to get this in time. We're going to do
Yes, sir.
H.
You want that scripture, Ecclesiastes 10 and 2, the head of as his officers?
No, we just put it. So it was Ecclesiastes 10 and 2 in the Apocrypha, right?
Okay.
That, write it down. It was Ecclesiastes 10 and 2. Thank you, sir. I was looking for it, but we kind of quoted it, and you got it. So it's 10 and 2. Yes, it is. Okay, just read it out loud. Read it out loud real quick. Ecclesiastes 10 and 2.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 2 reads, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers.
So if I'm not making changes, my officers aren't making changes. If I'm not providing what's necessary for the people, my officers aren't providing what's necessary for the people. If I can't see myself, officers won't be able to see themselves. Everybody walks in stagnation and is in this cycle of poverty.
Yep.
Spiritual poverty, mental poverty, emotional poverty, psychological poverty, poverty of thinking. There's no prosperity. There's no internal prosperity. There might be external prosperity. There might be some bills getting paid, but everybody's sad in the household. The element around you, the whole garden is diminished because of bad policy.
Yep. So we got that, right? So where we're gonna go into next is HIJK. H. Narcissists are extremely sensitive and react badly to criticism.
And why is that?
Because you know what? When you're criticizing them, you're popping that damn costume balloon, and you're showing them who they really are. See, the person that can sit back here and check them, you're really exposing that sensitive, vulnerable, insecure nature.
Yeah.
And they've created the costume in the first place to hide from the scrutiny.
You're destroying that reality.
You're destroying that false reality and that costume that they've created.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so sensitive. Because you see them. But see, they've created a life of people that can't see them.
Yeah.
And you see them exposed. And they can't handle it. They can't handle it. You see right through them.
So it's really, there's two reasons. That reason, of course, So they lose their reality they're creating, and also they're already dealing with. We read earlier that
self-loathing.
The self-loathing was the carnal solution to motivate the ideal of creating the mask
in the first place.
Because it's the starting point. The self-loathing and self-hatred and that self-condemnation is a jumping pad for the spirit to get into the spirit of creating that costume. It's part of the reasoning for it. So now as soon as you start attacking and seeing my true element, guess what? Now I have to go back to dealing with my condemnation.
Yep.
So it's a bad situation for that person.
So listen to what the narcissist does. Once again, H. Narcissists are extremely sensitive and react badly to criticism, disagreements, or perceived slights, which they view as personal attacks.
This is why you can't counsel them.
And that's why you can't counsel them. And that's why they're not going to be humble enough to tell you their problems. Because they don't want to be attacked. You've created the costume to avoid being attacked. So that narcissist person is extremely insecure and is not willing to let you in to scrutinize them, because you'll destroy them if they're destroyed in their eyes if they're exposed.
And we have whole classes about accepting looking bad.
Yep.
Because this is the part of this element probably that a lot of men have. But we have a hard time looking bad or accepting that I gotta look bad.
Okay.
But you have to look bad in order to get healed.
I'm gonna say this. I gotta go here. It also says a narcissist can't handle failure. It destroys their idea and fantasy of who they are. And this is why they can't take the check.
Wow.
They can't take the check because it destroys the idea of who they are.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So once again, I'm reading from the top. Narcissists are extremely sensitive and react badly to criticism, counsels, checks, people that can see them for who they are, disagreements or perceived slights, which they view as personal attacks.
Yep.
They can't handle failure.
Yep.
It destroys their idea of their costume, that fantasy of who they are. But then if we take that concept and scripturally connect it, you read, let's go to 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. 1 Corinthians.
I want to put myself in a position to endeavor.
You know what?
That's why
I don't want anybody to see me.
This is why endeavors that required trial and error never got stepped into.
Yep. Now we're going to read 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. And the verse isn't going to make sense when you first of all read it, but we will when we start getting definitions. Read on.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High?
The unrighteous are not going to make the kingdom. Read on.
Be not deceived, neither fornicators.
Fornicators is dealing with what? That idolatry. Yeah. That's spiritual fornication. Read on.
Nor idolaters.
Okay.
Nor adulterers.
Mm-hmm.
Nor effeminate.
Nor effeminate. Let's look up effeminate.
Yeah, because men think effeminate is strictly the guy that
just rolling
walks
like a lady
around with some lady boy shoes on and playing making games. There's not that. There's a lot more lady boys in the spirit.
Lady boys.
It's the tight lady boys running around.
Is that like a very emotional man?
We're gonna go into it. I want to go into effeminate, and we're gonna find the number 3. Number 3.
Because we thought it was strictly Gomorrites back in the day.
Yep.
But it's not just Gomorrites.
Yep.
Effeminate. Number 3. Woman like tender.
So it says that an effeminate person won't make the kingdom, but that effeminate person is tender. Now we got to look at the word tender.
What does it mean to be tender? Let's find out.
And I want to get definition.
Not a chicken tender.
Number.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Can't eat those no more.
Can't eat the chicken tendon. No. I'm trying to find I had it.
Where it says
salt. Stop. Let me figure it out. I had it and I think I wrote the wrong number. Because my definition of tender, look on the numbers, it says not able to endure hardship. Delicate constitution.
Yeah.
So a person that can't take correction.
Yeah.
Can't. What's that?
3.
3. The first 3 is multiple 3s.
No, it's the third 3.
Third 3. Okay. Yeah, there's. It says delicate, effeminate, not hardy or able to endure hardship. So it says an effeminate person won't make the kingdom. A person that can't take a check won't make the kingdom. A person that can't take hardness won't make the kingdom. So this narcissist that can't take correction, can't take criticism, he's not going to make the kingdom because he's never going to put himself in a position
to be critiqued.
Which means he can't be put in a situation to change. That's why they won't make the kingdom. Because they'll never change. Because they'll never put themselves in a situation to keep looking bad.
Ain't the shepherd's fault.
Because that's what it takes to change. You have to look bad. You have to be abased so that you can be abounded.
And you have to learn. You have to deal with failures and learn from them.
That's the point. That's the abasement. If you're not abased, you can't abound. Christ even said that. So if you won't be abased, you won't get developed. So that effeminate person can't take the check. It crushes and fractures their ego
on multiple levels.
God.
Remember, they're 90% ego.
That's
and
the point.
Small and
Their
very
God
small
is their
spirit.
belly.
But the scriptures are supposed to develop your spirit so that you can take the ego being crushed.
Mm-hmm.
You can take the ego death.
Huh?
You can lose the pride.
Yep. So that's where we're at on that side. Okay? That effeminate, that tender person that can't take the check. But that lines right up with the narcissist. Was that? No, because I want to do something at the end.
I got you.
We're not going to make this much longer because we got to do something with the men afterwards. Letter I. I might just go off on the names and we'll do letter I, letter J, and letter K. We won't go heavy into it. The letter I. Narcissists feel threatened whenever they encounter someone who appears to have something they lack, especially those who are confident. So a narcissist is threatened around the presence of a confident person. That's why they don't choose confident wives. That's why they don't be around men who are more confident than them. Competent, confident, they don't feel strong around them.
Can you repeat that, sir?
Narcissists feel threatened whenever they encounter someone who appears to have something they lack, especially those who are confident.
It's a knock against them, and they don't even know it's a knock against them. I didn't know it was a problem.
Well, I know. Well, the person who's confident didn't know that. It says they are threatened by those who don't kowtow to them.
Yeah, don't bend to them.
Kowtow is a person who just bends. He says they are threatened by those who don't kowtow. K-O-W-T-O-W is one
They want
word.
people in the spirit. They want people in the spirit of subservience to them.
Yes, to break and bow.
So that they can feel on top. They have an issue with not. They don't want to be happy.
So if a person doesn't bend to you, doesn't cower to you, isn't intimidated by
they're
your
not being
words,
disrespectful,
and they see right through your costume, then the narcissist feels uncomfortable.
Then you're the enemy.
Exactly. So they are threatened by those who don't kowtow to them or who challenge them in any way. The only way to neutralize the threat and prop up their sagging ego is to put these people down.
Yeah.
The only way to sit back here and feel better about a person that sees me for who I am is I got to sit back here and tell myself they ain't nothing. I got to start tearing them down. I got to start sitting back here and discouraging, in my eyes, how I look at them.
Or turn people against them.
Yeah.
Because in the Israelite environment, they turn people against certain men.
They'll turn them against, or they'll just sit back here and trivialize the things that they do better than you. They'll sit back here and make what you do better than them not that important.
No, it's not.
It's not that important. So I got to sit back here. I got to put these people down by seeing what somebody can do better than me. Make that not that important. Make that not that good or important. Right? It's not about it. It's about what I do good. Not about what you
did. It's about what I do.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
It's still
That's
the
cool.
spirit of competition.
Yeah.
But if I'm in the spirit of competition, I'm knocking your virtues down to inflate my nurtures. That's the only way I can survive.
Which is teaching out of the spirit of covetousness.
God. They say they do it in a patronizing or dismissive way, or attack them with insults. That's the only way you can sit back here and still retain your ego is by tearing down somebody else's good accomplishments or their virtues. Okay? And now we get to the letter J, where it says narcissists tend to blame others for their problems versus changing themselves.
No, it's not. It's never my fault.
It's never my fault. It's always your fault. And that's how you reverse it. And if I'm around a bunch of emotionally shallow people, that's how you neutralize them.
Yeah.
I've seen brothers do that in counsel all the time. I got the rank. A good, valid issue is brought to me about what I'm not doing. That is simply reverse about what you're not doing.
What about you?
And all of a sudden, you're kind of paused, like, maybe what I'm doing is wrong. That's narcissism 101,
What they
bro.
brought up was a valid point and statement.
Yeah, but I'm not going to focus on your valid statement. I'm going to throw you off balance with something that you're not good at.
Yeah.
So now it's a stalemate at
Let's
the very
take
least.
the focus off of me and put it on you.
That's narcissistic thinking. Men do it all the time. Versus being accountable for what's being brought to them. I can be accountable for what I'm doing wrong and still show you what you're gonna do.
Not a narcissist though.
I know the narcissist is never
takes
gonna account their
no
problems.
ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't take ownership when things are going well.
Yep.
When things are going well, and people put the work in,
It's
put things
me.
good. Hey, I did it.
Yep.
I've done a good thing.
But when somebody's bringing you real accusations, it wasn't me. It was this person. I didn't do that. It was. What about you? What about what you didn't do? That's narcissism. Yes, sir.
That's gaslighting too, right?
Yeah.
Modern term 2023 would be gaslighting. Somewhat.
Yes. I've heard of it. I've heard of that gaslighting, but find a definition for it.
Well, I sent you a link. It's all.
So he's saying a link on, but it's a whole lot of reading.
Yeah, never mind.
I was gonna say the whole point is they're just gonna create it's another alternative narrative. Right? It's a narrative. They're creating a false narrative.
It's to deflect. I'm
deflecting. I'm creating a narrative so that you don't guys see me, and you're always in a position of subservience and weakness. So I can point out where you're at, and then keep you emotionally broken and mentally broken, so I can keep benefiting off your labor.
Yep.
Gaslight, to cause a person to doubt his or her sanity through the use of psychological manipulation.
Exactly, and that's what it is. Yes, sis?
Can they also use, like instead of just outrightly not taking accountability, can they use sarcasm to deflect also?
Hell yeah. That's what they said earlier. We just read it. They said
it's one of the specialties.
They attacked him with insults.
That's one of the specialties of a narcissist.
A narcissist is great at this heavy insults and degrading people and tearing people down.
Sign language, quote unquote.
We're gonna stop here real quick and go into the different type of narcissist.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Why put his hand up?
Yes, sir.
No, I was gonna say if you look up the definition of sarcasm, it means to fillet the flesh.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. But as I'm filleting you, you gotta tend to your wounds, and you ain't gotta focus on me anymore. 'Cause I'm just tearing you down to deflect what I don't want. I don't want to have to be accountable for my spirit.
It's a game.
That's the game. That's how you deflect. Deny, deflect, destroy, tear down, create these BS accusations. So you don't got to see me. There are 4 types of narcissists.
So there's multiple.
There are different personality types of narcissists. Okay. One is an overt, grandiose narcissist.
Say that again.
Overt.
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 It's a charismatic narcissist.
Grandiose narcissist.
It's
Yes, charismatic.
It's a charismatic narcissist.
Yes.
There's charismatic men that are actually narcissists.
Yes.
Grandiose.
Grandiose. Yes.
Charismatic. Sauce.
Grand.
Got the sauce. They got the sauce. Narcissist with the sauce.
Yes. Okay. So they are extroverted, uncooperative, selfish, overbearing, high self-esteem,
but they're strong public figures.
It says confident and assertive.
Yeah.
But they overestimate their emotional intelligence. You can tell a narcissist by how they think they know how people think, but they don't.
They're genuinely off.
Trump.
Yeah, that's one. That's a good one. They think they understand what the people want, but they really don't. They have an idea, but they don't know. But there's somebody tell a narcissist that I know what that person was thinking. No, you don't. You don't know what that person's mind was at. You don't have a clue. You're guessing. But just because you said it confident, don't mean that your perception.
Because they thought it must be true.
Exactly. Because I felt this person was this way, I reacted this way because I felt that's what you were thinking.
Because I felt it must be real.
There's no real proof. You have these crazy feelings, these crazy ideas of what a person is, and you have these conclusions about how you perceive people, and you treat them accordingly based on your perception.
Your feelings are facts.
Yes.
That's what narcissists do one-on-one.
Yep.
Your feelings are facts.
Gospel.
That's why can't nobody counsel you.
Mm-hmm.
Can't nobody counsel you because they can't agree with your feelings. So they're off. The counselors are off.
Yeah. Done.
That's one.
That's one. Second one is the covert, vulnerable narcissist.
This is the scary one.
Yes.
This is the one that most people, 9% of people can't see.
Yep. The covert, vulnerable narcissist is introverted. He's not the outward person. Extremely sensitive to criticism. That's the person that diverts. He might not fillet your flesh and destroy you like that, but he'll reverse psychology with you and sit back here and change tones on you and make you feel bad for them.
They play the good guy
and the guilt
and
play.
they're convincing that they're the victim. They're good at convincing people they're just the good guy. I'm just the good guy.
I didn't know.
But
I was taking advantage of.
But you've been exploiting the hell out of people.
I'm gonna say this. It goes. It does. I want to say that word too, but it can't. Extremely sensitive to criticism, low self-esteem, defensive, and passive aggressive. And that's why it doesn't come off and feel the same as the one that just tears you down the outward. I come off like I couldn't have did that. I'm too nice of a guy, or I'm not that deceptive. It's a fake good guy. I play down how diabolical I can roll. You'll never really see how negative I can be.
All I was trying to do was help.
Yes.
All I wanted to do was help the people.
That's it. And then there's a couple bad things, but it wasn't me.
I'm not gonna lie. On a political level, it's Democrats. And I gotta do it.
Biden is Biden.
No, not Biden today. Today's not Biden. It's the spirit of, oh, you Negroes.
I get what you're saying.
You Negroes are doing so bad. We know you can't get good test scores. So we're gonna lower the test scores. And you know what? We know you can't do nothing. So we're gonna give you some food stamps to be on the food stamps perpetually for the past 50 years. And you know what? Because things are so bad, we're gonna give you these pills. You can kill your babies. We have to make sure we care about you so much. We're gonna fight for rights. You have the right as a black sister, and a Mexican sister, a Latina sister, and a Native American sister. You gotta kill your baby.
We're gonna push the eugenics project. We're gonna sit back and give you food stamps and money to do it.
And we're about the black struggle. You know, BLM, Black Lives Matter, Black Lesbians Matter, killing your babies matters. They're pretending to help, but on the back end, they're taking advantage of destroying you through your ignorance because you can't see them.
Yep. They're
passive aggressive.
Yep.
I'm on your team. It's what the feminists did with the sisters.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're in a struggle against this. We have an oppressor. The
let's burn our bras.
Yes, burn our bras. Now you ain't got no man. You're sitting here suffering. Your baby's is going crazy. But she got a husband. She just got a problem with him. So that liberal approach is the better way to say it.
Yes.
The liberal approach is it mirrors the covert narcissistic angle.
Yes. Then we have two more. Third is the antagonist narcissist.
Now what is that?
The antagonist narcissist is highly competitive in social interactions. So this competitor is the one that when they're around people that might challenge them, they choose competition to sit back here and obtain and maintain their dominance. I'm going to sit back here and show you that I'm better than you. Because everything is about me having to show you that I'm better than you and I'm superior to you. So I'm going to sit back here and overtalk you or use your words against you, use your lack of understanding against you.
Yeah.
So you can sit back here and feel hopeless and give up in trying to communicate back to me.
Calm.
Everything's a competition. Everything's about breaking you and outskilling you so you can back off of me. We're talking in circles. I'm just going to keep talking in circles till you tire out.
Till you get tired.
I can play this game. I can play this wordplay back and forth all damn day long.
Semantics.
Exactly. So zero-sum thinking, winners and losers. The narcissist has to always be the winner.
Yeah.
And the other person around is going to be the loser. Zero-sum thinking, quick to disparage others, quick to tear people down, break them. And it says, slow or unwilling to forgive. So this is the antagonistic narcissist.
Zero-sum thinking. It says where one person's gain will be another's loss.
God, well that's the point. So who's gonna win?
It says the term is derived from game theory. They think everything's a damn game out.
Brother.
If you get a benefit, that's a knock against me.
Yes, so I gotta sit back here and win because it's about me winning.
Yeah. Taps into envy, bro.
Like I said, we're running out of time. That's why I'm kind of going through them fast. But I don't want to go through this a whole other class. It doesn't make sense. The fourth is malignant narcissist. They're the ones that have the destructive behavior. They're the ones that sit back here and tear people down.
That's it.
They're the ones that sit back here and instead of when you want to criticize me, I'm going to destroy you.
Yeah.
I'm going to destroy you and verbally beat you down to a pulp.
To destroy the threat.
To destroy the threat and to humiliate the threat, so that the threat never comes back. It says aggressive, paranoid, sadistic, joy in people's pain. You have joy in tearing somebody down. That's that malignant narcissist. There's different type of self-centered people.
This is a cancerous man.
When you get that report that everybody's always tearing down his woman, always breaking her down, breaking her confidence down, breaking her self-esteem down, making her feel small and insignificant, making her feel that she can't do shit right,
and then hiding
because she's just lesser than.
God.
And then you talk to her about, oh, she's just tripping.
Yeah.
What? Oh, we had talk last night.
Their ribs are always broken. Spirits around them always broken. I said their garden. You look at their garden and you can see them. Their garden is always diminished. Other men's garden are growing, and spirit everybody's happy and positive and stuff. But the people that depend on them are always spiritually diminished.
The other person is anti.
Abuser.
Yeah. But you don't gotta use physical. You don't gotta physically.
Mental abuse.
Well, I
mental.
said domestic. I didn't say whether it was.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying they don't have to be physical to be that abuser. Yeah. And then you got that person that's anti-social behavior. They'll just do that. They'll tear down at home, and they really won't be around their brothers when it's time. When it's time to be brothers and be around brothers, they're not there. I'm gonna be at home and just tear down the people around my family.
And I'm gonna talk from afar. We talk to them in side conversations. Their side conversations are always venomous.
Yes.
They have very venomous side conversations, and they poison weak-minded men that aren't tethered to the book.
No doubt.
If you're mentally weak and not tethered to the book, they're gonna spit venom in your ear, and they're gonna end up isolating you to benefit them.
Because their behavior is destructive. They want to tear down, and about building up nothing. Because inside they're destroyed.
Yeah.
So I'm destroyed inside. So I'm going to destroy everybody else around me so they can feel like I feel.
Because I'm losing the competition.
God, because I look bad. Because you're making me look bad.
Yeah. It's a Sith spirit.
Listen.
If the Sith was in the camp, if you're in Star Wars, it's
Darth
a Sith.
Lord, listen, Darth Sidious side?
Come on, that's a Sith. That's that malignant narcissist. I play the
background. They get a black hoodie out.
I play the background. I'm counseling on the side. I always got a venomous slant thing. Yeah. I create invisible enemies. I start telling people speaking against you. I start telling people I start lying to people that can't measure truth and facts, and lie to them and tell them this person is about you. This person is about you.
To create the distrust.
I create distrust, and now people are perpetually isolated.
But the people that really know me know I'm destructive. I'm toxic as a person. If you really know me, you'll know that.
The Most High hates people. The Scripture says that the symbols they put division.
Mm-hmm.
What's the word? Division, divisive, dissemblers.
Dissemblers.
Yeah. Dissimulation.
Not dissimulation.
Discord.
Discord.
So he said to those that sow discord.
They sow discord among brethren. They break up brotherhoods.
Yep.
These kind of men split camps.
Yep.
It's the facts. Split families, split camps, because it's always venom and carcinogenic and negative venomous conversations that tear down the integrity of the body.
Yep.
That's the malignant Sith type narcissist.
Yep.
That was almost it.
It's perfect. It's perfect. And it says disregarding rights and safety of others, because it doesn't matter how people feel and what they need. I'm going to destroy it.
And the sad part is the men that listen to that end up leaving the truth.
Yep.
The weaker spirits end up leaving the truth because I can't trust anybody.
And I'm gonna tell you how you know that person is a narcissist in all those different levels. It says this goes back to letter K. It says often to avoid a narcissist's coldness and rages, people just go along with their demands.
Oh shit.
They'll just sit back here and agree, or they'll just go through the motions and just stay away.
I
gotta do everything. Let me just stay away from this guy. You'll see a wife in a marriage that stay away and disagree. They'll just go ahead and agree, so they don't got to argue and deal with the rages and the arguments and the tearing down and the destructive nature. I'm just going to agree and stay away.
Yeah.
That's how you know. That's how the wife knows they're dealing with a narcissist.
Yeah.
Because that's how they cope. The coping mechanism is just to get away.
You have to.
I'm just going to stay away because if
for your sanity.
I'm going to stay away from my sanity, so I don't have to deal with the rage fits, the coldness, the filleting of the spirit by being torn down.
Yeah.
And like we read in that Ecclesiasticus earlier, where it said it doesn't matter.
And this is a mental child.
Yeah.
Because listen, the Bible says, in maliciousness be children, but in understanding be ye men.
I don't want to be upbraided.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be upbraided. So I'm just gonna move around and just get away. How do I navigate not getting yelled at today?
Yeah.
Or how do I operate not getting the cold shoulder today? Let me check the temperature of the room. Is he mad? Is he pissed? Is he okay? Is always walking on eggshells around this type of narcissist person.
And this person's a child.
In the spirit. And they're very emotionally insecure.
Yeah.
And that's the cause of it.
Yeah. And but the Bible.
It's inner darkness, huh?
It's inner darkness, and I won't use the Bible to fix it. So I stay in this perpetual cycle of negative. My house stays sick.
Yep.
My people stay sick.
Yep.
But as long as I feel good, and I have
as long as I'm okay.
As long as I'm okay, at the detriment of the people, it's like those Russian czars out here.
Yeah.
People are starving, they're all hungry, and they're all suffering. The king is all big and sitting here eating food and sucking meat off the bone and laughing and drinking wine. Everybody in the kingdom is starving and suffering in a perpetual poverty. Yeah.
You know, you can tell somebody's household when they always have constant problems.
Yeah.
Like if you're on the outside and you don't know what's going on, but you hear about just catastrophic things where the Most High just keep tagging the household.
Oh, that could be a number of things, but that could be an element. That could be an element. But when you're sitting back here, you can just see how the interaction and how people move in the house. You can tell if there's narcissism there. How the relationships are operating. How uncomfortable the wife is around the husband.
It's a natural. There's a natural shame and shyness, which is natural. There's a natural humility, which is
there's
natural.
arguments and there's up and downs in marriages. I'm not saying every husband and wife situation is narcissism, but you can tell the ones that are. There's a difference.
You can read mental abuse.
Yes.
My mom came to camp years ago. My mom came. She's still joined the truth. Came to camp, saw a sister, and she said that sister's getting beat, and she started coming back to class no more. I'm like, what are you talking about, Mom? This is a good teacher. I look up, bro. I'm seeing the sister damn get her ass whooped. I'm like, damn, Mom was right. But so the point is, physical abuse and mental abuse, a person that grew up in that environment can easily see it.
Can pick it.
They can pick it. I couldn't see it for shit. I'm like, what are you saying? You're tripping. Listen, get the Bible. She went back to church. I'm like, she went back to church. But those bad examples, when new people come in that come from the world and they're going through suffering, they can pick up on that abuse. Your ribs are supposed to be doing good. Your children are supposed to be doing good. It's supposed to be a positive vibration. Everybody has problems. Everybody has arguments. We're talking about those casual arguments. We're talking about long periods of.
And she said that too. She said that the long periods of time with
I'm just clarifying so that it's not look like if a brother has an argument with his rib, he's automatically a narcissist.
Exactly.
We're not saying you're a narcissist. You correct.
Everybody got the big end in their life.
No. We're saying that people that are being starved, spiritually starved. I'm not going to give you my spirit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you what you need. I'm not going to give you conversation. I'm not going to give you understanding. I'm not going to sit here and teach you what to cut you. I'm not going to sit here and nurture you spiritually like I'm supposed to, like biblically.
Yeah.
Because it's about me.
God. And I think that kind of wraps it up on the narcissism. There's more. We can extend it more, but I think that's enough, man. Does anybody have any questions on that topic?
I want to make one statement.
Ahmad, yes, sir.
You came off to the third one, and then you went up to number 5 on the different types of narcissists, right?
We went past 5, huh?
No, he's talking about the 4 characters.
I got competitive.
Oh yeah, it was 4. It's 4. It was 4. It is.
So I got the first 3.
Overt. It was overt, covert, antagonist, and malignant. Malignant was the destructive one.
Oh, antagonist. So that one was competitive.
Now, if I take a picture of those,
you need to watch the class, brother.
I'm sorry.
I'm playing with you.
I'll shoot it to you. I'll shoot it to you.
You got you. I was joking, but I was gonna say one thing. This class should be a platform on how to judge your leadership for young officers.
Men in general.
For young men in general, this is how you judge your husbandship. This is how you judge your officership. This is how you judge how you interact with young men. Your interaction with young men shows if you're narcissist or not. Your interaction with your ribs shows if you're narcissist or not. It's how you interact with people. You know a tree by the what? Fruit it bears. Your fruit, how people are growing around you, show what type of skilled man you are.
Are there any more questions? All right, we're gonna shut it down. Shalom, everybody, for listening. The water for tuning in, and we will have class on Wednesday. The water, shalom.